geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, straight lines seem wavy, like when looking at a door frame. For others, blurry or missing spots can make it hard to read or see loved ones' faces. Many have trouble seeing in low light, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you've been diagnosed with AMD and notice vision changes, don't wait. Talk to your eye doctor about GA today. Learn more at gawon'twait.com. That's gawon'twait.com.
At the Home Depot, we know pros want to be ready for whatever the job site has in store. That's why the Home Depot app is made for pros who don't miss a beat. You can power your jobs with rentals to get the tools, trucks, and equipment you need fast. And Pro Extra benefits to keep your business growing. For doing that doesn't stop. Download the Home Depot app. It's made for doing.
And paid for by Linear Marketing Group. Are you drowning in debt? Are you struggling to make minimum payments? Did you know that on average, a household with at least one credit card struggles with over $17,000 in credit card debt? If this sounds like you, know that it's not your fault. Credit card debt happens to good people. Credit card companies lure you in with low introductory rates and low minimum payments. Before you know it, you're in over your head. We've helped thousands of good people just like you become debt-free with our Debt Reset program that will dramatically reduce your debt down to a fraction of what you owe. Our Debt Reset program is customized to get you debt-free in as little as 24 to 48 months with one low monthly payment. If you owe over $10,000 in credit card debt or even personal loans, call 800-278-0630 now. There are no upfront fees or out-of-pocket expenses. You don't pay a dime until we succeed. Call now to see how the Debt Reset program can work for you. 800-278-0630. That's 800-278-0630. Again, 800-278-0630.
Seems like everything is going electric these days. Electric cars, electric trucks. But what you save on gas, you pay for with that electric bill. With all these things being plugged into your house, wouldn't it be nice to save up to 85% on your monthly electric bill? Well, you can do that with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Call Harmon Solar. Harmon Solar is a family-owned, woman-owned local company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189. Or go to harmonsolar.com.
Greg Clark Automotive trained certified technicians located on the southwest corner of Bethany Home and 19th Avenue, servicing Valley automobiles 44 summers now, offering our summer cooling system inspection diagnosis on the belts, water pump, radiator, and hoses. Every air conditioning service includes a dye injection to find leaks. Contact us today at 602-246-2881. And online at gregclarkautomotive.com. Mention 1580 and get 10% off of labor.
K2SN10P, also transmitting on K25CDV at 99.3 FM. K240U Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
All right, people, settle down because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, Bob, it's Wednesday here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale on National Book Lovers Day. Well, for the fourth dimension, it's Wednesday. Yeah.
Whiskey Wednesday is what it is for us.
Well, let's be honest. There's nobody listening to this program right now who's cracking a book later.
Well, there's a few. There's a few people. Maybe some of our more educated listeners. Screaming Eagle.
Yeah. Well, that's a medical book. That doesn't.
Nurse Scratchet.
Nurse Scratchet. Well, it's probably a romance novel if she does, but
no, that would be Tiger Paws.
Oh, that's right. I don't know. Do you guys
Moist
read?
One?
Do you read books? Are people reading books?
I used to love to read, and I don't know what happened. I just got away from. I used to love to read.
Well, because the titles you want no longer have pictures, so it's not.
Excuse me.
Wow. I mean, I understand. So anyway, well, whatever the hell. Yeah,
Titles I want no longer have pictures.
yeah, I'm just saying. Yeah,
Where would the pictures have gone?
huh? I don't know.
Where would the pictures go?
You always said you read that one for the stories. Sure. So do you know when
No.
the first printing press was invented? Do you know when?
It was Eli Whitney, 1812.
Oh, that's the cotton gin.
Yeah,
I
I would say 16.
Sorry.
Oh boy, in the 1640s somewhere was Gutenberg.
You're damn close. You're right about who, but yes, Gutenberg, the star of Police Academy, Steve Gutenberg invented the printing press in 1440.
1440. That's okay.
Yeah.
I
All
believe
right.
that's Johannes Gutenberg. Steve.
Well, he went by Steve whenever
okay.
he would be in a movie.
It's very
Yeah,
odd
it's
for a
his-
German
his-
person, but all right.
Screen name was Steve Gutenberg.
Yeah, yeah.
Steve Gutenberg.
Come on, Keon, try to keep up. Not everything.
Look,
comes with-
I am uninformed on this subject.
Do you know what Gutenberg used to do before he invented the printing press?
No.
Well, he wrote everything by hand. I mean,
Yeah,
that was
that was
a lot of writing.
him and
no, but
everybody
his
else.
profession before that, he was a goldsmith.
That seems like an interesting jump in profession.
See, I would have never got that. I was going to say baseball umpire, but
Yeah. I don't think baseball was around in 1440, Randy.
Hmm.
So, but good guess, and you're both
Thank you.
over.
Thank
Price is Right rules. No one wins, and that's the end of that. So,
$1.
888-368-1580. That's the number to text in and be a part of the show. And before we go any further, I got to ask a question. I asked it on Twitter, and to my knowledge, nobody has answered my question as of yet. Not one singular person has answered my question. I'm checking to make sure that I am correct, but nope, nobody's answered. Question is, the hell are they going to do this? And I'm talking about the Arizona Coyotes. And I do want to raise a glass to the Arizona Coyotes. They released today the information that they confirmed that the Coyotes owner, chairman, and governor, Alex Morello, has executed a letter of intent to purchase a parcel of land located in Mesa, Arizona, to be the potential site for a sports arena and entertainment district. But here's the thing that really makes it interesting. The Coyotes remain committed to building, and this is the part that gets them a drink, first privately funded sports facility in Arizona history. They're not asking for any tax money.
Yeah.
They might get some tax breaks from Mesa for going in there, but they're not asking for your hard-earned money. Bam.
That's pretty cool. Kind of
Yeah.
should have been the way that it was from the beginning, and then they would have probably already started on the process of building a stadium.
It has been this way from the beginning. When it was on the ballot in Tempe, it was also privately funded.
All right. So what was the problem then? They were just asking for too much of
Well,
a tax break?
People that live that vote in Tempe are a-holes. That's all.
Oh, okay. Tempe residents are a-holes. All right.
They
I got it.
want to keep this. They want to keep that junk pile looking thing
Sure.
out there by the airport. Yeah.
Sure, they're a-holes and not just maybe dumb as bricks.
Well,
No, they're a-holes. That's all.
There was
They're
an
a-holes.
opposition group to the stadium that put out so much information that made it seem like there were going to be tax dollars involved, and made it
No.
seem.
No,
I'm just telling you what the opposition group was, and they seem to advertise better and more often than the Coyotes did.
Randy, does that mean that is your official position that if you're from Tempe, Arizona, you are an a-hole?
no, that's not what I said.
It sounded like that's what you said.
I said the voters of Tempe are a-holes. They want to keep that.
What if everybody in Tempe votes?
Well, then they're all a-holes. Then I
Well,
guess.
I'm just saying. I'm just wanting some clarity on your statement here.
I
I'm
mean-
willing to give them a break and just say they're dumber than dirt. You say they're
thanks.
a-holes.
Which was a vast improvement.
I think they were misrepresented. I think they didn't want to have a stadium in that parcel of land there, which is by the airport there,
Mhm.
and it looks like a pit. It looks like an old it's an old dump is what it is, and I guess they would rather look at that eyesore rather than have some sort of sports facility and shopping facility and housing facility and all of that stuff over there. And it was all privately funded, and they kept saying that it wasn't going to be privately funded, and but they could never tell exactly what taxes were going to be levied. So I just the bottom line is back in May, They blocked the $2.1 billion privately funded project,
I still
16,000-seat arena.
contend that the Coyotes should have done a better job of letting people know that it was privately funded, because
Yes,
it did not come across that way.
Yeah. I thought
Yes.
coyotes were supposed to howl, and all you did was mutter.
Because
Yeah.
I don't think that if people knew that it was completely privately funded, they would have chosen a dump over a stadium
Well,
and
no,
shopping district.
They didn't. They said they had their reasons, and I can't remember exactly what it was now. One of them was that Morello was lying. It wasn't going to be privately funded. There was going to be a tax. There wasn't enough something else. There wasn't enough low income housing or something allowed into the plans. And I forget what all the details were. And I may be completely off here, but the bottom line was they didn't believe it was going to be privately funded. And the Coyotes maintained that it was going to be privately funded. There was nothing brought up to the city of Tempe that said, we want to get a tax on this. No, they said, what we want is we want that parcel of land, and we want you to give it to us at a value price. And in return, we're going to build a 16,000-seat arena. And apparently, I guess they were feeling like the city of Tempe wasn't going to get enough out of the deal as well. And
I
that was
felt
part
like
of it
there
too.
was some money involved there, but it doesn't matter because that's the past. The future is in Mesa. And so I asked the question on the Twitter. I said, hey, the hell are they putting this thing? Because I didn't see that in any press release anywhere.
Yeah, I'm looking, and all it says is attempting to purchase land in Mesa, and there's no outlines of where this land. I'm sure in the next few days or weeks it will be it will come to light.
Well, Big George, he says, I answered your question, Jeffrey, on X. I'm not calling it that. I'm calling it Twitter.
It's Twitter.
And besides that, I'm not going to go look. You can just tell me here on the text line. Copy
We're
and
here.
paste it if you want to.
It's sort of like if you're talking to somebody and then they're like, and you're like, oh yeah, I thought I asked you this. I'm like, oh yeah, no, I responded. You can read the text. Well, if you're in front of their face at that moment, they should have to open their phone and read what you said. Just say it.
It's a little frustrating when that happens, but yeah, once you're there, come on. Man.
Just use your mouth.
Cardinal Art says, well, I do see Fiesta Mall for the arena, huh? Could be, since it's been tore down already there. Hey, can I have a cold one, Randy? Says Cardinal Art.
Sure.
Yeah, they were talking about Fiesta Mall area, but did we determine that was a 41-acre piece of land? I don't know. Donnie says, hope it's built near us, Jeffrey, by the Mesa Airport. Plenty of land. You know, that's what my wife was thinking. She was thinking that it might be up in that area. It's at the far East Valley. Very convenient for us. Not sure that that's horribly convenient for everyone else, just to go from one extreme of Glendale all the way to the super duper extreme of north of Queen Creek. But I think it's probably going to be along the river there somewhere. If not Fiesta Mall area. I don't know, because they won't tell us. So I don't know.
Yeah, selfishly, Fiesta Mall is closer to closer to me. But you know, Mesa Airport's also not that far. So
centrally located makes sense. Scratch me because ask me a question, and the answer is literally tomorrow. Okay, I'm just seriously, it's supposed to be tomorrow. Moist One says Fiesta Mall. The Jet says, in Tempe's defense, by building that $1 billion structure, it would have drove the property values in that area extremely high. So even though the tax dollars would not be paying for it, the landowners' taxes would be going through the city of Tempe, and they couldn't afford the tax hike. Well, here's an idea. When your property value goes really high, what's a good idea? You sell it and go move somewhere where it's not so damned expensive. I would have, if they told me my property value was going to skyrocket, I'd be like, where do I sign? I'm going to sign twice. Click, click, you know?
And as a person who has rented in Tempe, so I don't know exactly what the ownership of anything is. It was already damn expensive to live in Tempe. I don't. Yeah. I mean, that was not reasonable already.
This could have been a real boon though for Tempe. I mean, it would have brought a lot of dollars to the city itself. Maybe it would have caused the tax, the property taxes to go up. Maybe. I mean, I'm sure there were studies done, and I'm sure our texter is spot on. But it seems like there would have been opportunities to make that up.
Yes.
Sell your property.
Yes.
or I don't know, sell it or rent. I'm sorry,
Yes.
rent it out.
Yes, you can rent it out for far more than what your mortgage is. You're absolutely right, Randy.
There's options to work around this, and they're that eyesore that continues to be a dump in Tempe. Will continue to be a dump in Tempe.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say they're a-holes, but it sounds like they're idiots. Big George says, okay, not confirmed, but I heard it might be next to. Okay, before I read it, where did you hear that? Who did you hear that from? Because George, you're in San Diego. I don't really think of you as a local insider right now.
Well, he is kind of hooked up on the scene.
I want answers.
You know what I mean?
All right, but I'll read it. He says, I heard it might be next to the Bass Pro Sports at the old mine pit off of Loop 202 Red Mountain Freeway in Dobson by the Mesa Riverview.
Yeah.
I don't understand a lot of those words, but I think just by the Mesa Riverview, because here's what it is. You got the Tempe Marketplace, and then across the street going east-west, now you got the Mesa Riverview. They're both right there, just stretched out along the river. So that'd be a fine place for it. I still question where you heard that from.
I did see that in the paper. That was one of the sites they were linked to, but no one has confirmed that that's the spot.
Taco Kenny says Fiesta Mall will work. That way I'll have an excuse, to Ojos Locos next door. All right.
There's no there's nothing that I can see on the Goog at this time. I've been moving around the Goog. There's nothing definitive on that.
Do you think
platform.
Me looking at Ojos Locos is a place I should be looking at online?
I probably wouldn't do that.
Let's see. Oh yeah, it's one of those kinds of places. Like a Hooters knockoff. It's like a Hooters Twin Peaks kind of thing. Looks like a fun sports bar. It does look like a. Actually, maybe it's not is it like a Hooters thing? Because they're the first thing they see is some girls and some outfits, if you know what I mean. So
I don't know. Haven't heard of it.
ProDog says it was all about the tax breaks. Some people hate it when rich people get tax breaks, even if they spend millions improving the area. Listen, there is a line. There is a line you have to be careful of. But if giving them a little tax break saves you from having to pay extra taxes, well, what's that going to hurt? They come in there and they invigorate your economy and they bring more money to town. Seemed like a pretty good idea to me.
Well, and some of the people were kind of upset that there was going to be a significant increase in traffic, which could bring a significant increase in crime, which could bring a significant increase of people to the area. And I think the people of Tempe they're not different. They're just kind of, I don't know how to put it. They're kind of elite. I mean,
elite,
we're a little snobbish.
We're Tempe and we like it this way.
No, I'd say they're elitist. But they're
maybe that's not the word I'm looking for.
Like if Portland, Oregon were here, it'd be there. Is that what you're trying to say?
A lot like that. Yeah.
Big George says, I, like Keon, saw it in the newspaper or digital equivalent. What paper? Come on, George. What paper?
Probably AZ Central.
That's not a paper. Anyway, so the good news is the Coyotes making another effort to stay here in the state of Arizona. And I'll tell you what, closer to me is not bad. I told my wife, I'm like, hey, if they actually did put it by the Mesa Airport down here, we'd go. Heck yeah. I'd go to lots of games after that. It's fun. Oh, those are fun games. Silly Wabbit says, apparently you're not worried about ratings, to insult part of your demographic. We know.
Do we have ratings?
Have you listened to this show?
Yeah, we got ratings and we don't care. 888-368-1580. So let's talk about somebody else who doesn't care about ratings. And that would be the owner of the Orioles. When he decided to go ahead and suspend Kevin Brown for honest reporting on that broadcast, actually positive, thinking like, hey, this has been the past, but now here we are. This is going to be special. and they suspended him indefinitely. I thought the suspension had been lifted, and it turns out maybe I was wrong. Is he?
He's coming back on
not?
the 11th.
The 11th.
Yeah,
that's what I read.
That's a long suspension for doing absolutely nothing wrong.
Do you know how many broadcasts I've heard that exact narrative on? Like every division rival that exists in sports, it's like that. Sometimes you're just the worst team in that rivalry, and then you go on a run and you get them back, and you have the chance to maybe, beat them more recently than they've beat you before. Like that's not even a new thing.
Yeah, this is a bad look for a team that was crawling out of the basement.
Yeah,
and trying to find a new identity, and now their owner just pulls them back.
I don't know that it's a bad look for the team. It's a bad look for the ownership group.
Well, yeah,
it's
sure.
a bad look for
he made the call.
For Angelo. Again, you speak of an a-hole. That's another a-hole. That's a guy right there that doesn't care what you think, and he's going to do what he wants. And he suspended a broadcaster. And I think I made my comments known yesterday. I think we all agree. Take this time and dust off the old resume and start networking with some people and get the hell out of there. Just get it. Baltimore does not deserve a quality broadcaster like you. Just leave.
He needs to go, but they were holding up signs. Free Kevin Brown. The fans were rallying behind him.
There's speculation that perhaps the ownership was telling the TV to pull that audio back.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I mean, good luck with that. All I'm saying is look out at the winter meetings.
Squid is on the text line, says the reason why Tempe failed is because NIMBYs heard one thing about taxes and you ran with it. Who's NIMBY?
I don't know. Is that a gorilla?
Jeebus, I gotta Google that now.
Was it Morambi a gorilla?
No, that's Harambe.
That's Harambe.
Oh, it's okay. All right. Is NIMBY a gorilla?
I don't know who NIMBY is. I'm trying to figure that out right now.
Was he a gorilla that was euthanized?
Is this something I was supposed to know about?
I don't know.
You know what it is? It's not in my backyard, people. That's what it is. The kid is using a term that I don't know where that came from, but yeah,
NIMBY.
It's not in my backyard.
All right. So we're doing that again. I'm gonna have to dust off my Urban Dictionary then.
Yeah. This kid is 16 and he's throwing out childish acronyms.
Well, I mean, like I say in the texter, respectfully, I didn't call you an a-hole. I just said the voters of Tempe were a-holes.
No, he's not from Tempe.
The bottom line is people just chose not to have this there. They would rather look at an eyesore, and it doesn't make any sense.
How have I never heard this NIMBY thing? It turns out it first appeared back in the 70s. Huh. Well,
you go.
We don't have the dumb terms like that in my backyard. Big George says, I'm pretty sure I heard Bob Brenly, criticize the Diamondbacks on a daily basis during their recent slump. Nothing's happened to him. Poor Kevin Brown said nothing bad, and he was suspended. Well, I don't think Kendrick listens to any of the broadcasts. I don't think he's interested in what's happening.
He cares at
all. No.
He has people to do that.
So many ways of looking at this that show he has
I'm sorry.
not a care in the world for
I
this
couldn't
team.
hear your criticism over the sound of me raking in TV money that I don't work for and don't really earn.
I couldn't hear you, Bob Brindley, over the sound of me snoring because of Steve Berthume on the call.
Kendrick is told, sir, did you know Brindley is saying it? Oh, is he? Yeah. Okay. Anyway, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000.
Poor general manager is like, can I have some money to make this team better?
Oh, see, now you've made me. No, I've lost count. Now I got to start over. God dang it. Get out of my office with this Brindley crap. All right, we got to take a break. And when we come back, more baseball stuff, a couple of this and that's before we get to some NFL. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. The best way to start betting smarter is to sign up for a free VSiN subscription at VSIN.com/subscribe. That's VSIN.com/subscribe.
Major League Baseball, the Diamondbacks taking on the LA Dodgers tonight in Phoenix. Merrill Kelly getting the start for Arizona. The Dodgers will counter with Brady Miller. Arizona getting a run and a half tonight, minus 144 on the run line. The Dodgers minus a run and a half at plus 120. On the money line, LA minus 134, Arizona plus 114 with the over-under of 9. Arizona has lost 7 in a row on Tuesday night. At the beginning of this series with the Dodgers, they fell by a 5-4 score. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
At Grainger, we're for the ones who pay attention to every little detail, the ones who fuss, tinker, and sweat the small stuff. Because you know the tiniest thing can make the biggest difference when it comes to keeping business moving. We get it. We're the same way, offering access to product experts to help you quickly and easily find what you need. So whatever your industry, you know you're always getting professional grade products. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
When you run a business, you need to be in control. And while you can't control everything that happens in the world of business, you can definitely take control of your utility expenses with the help of Harmon Solar. Give them a call and see how your company can save up to 80% on that monthly electric bill with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Harmon Solar is a local family-owned company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189. Or go to harmonsolar.com.
If you're an agent or broker in group benefits, get ready to learn about an exciting and innovative new program to offer your clients. Eternal Benefit is now offering the first pre-planning program that's available as a payroll deduction and allows benefits for the entire family. Our pre-planning program can include coverage for yourself, your spouse, plus your immediate family, including parents, children, grandparents, and even aunts, uncles, and cousins. Looking for a great reason to contact your clients? This is it. No more meetings where you have nothing new to offer. Eternal Benefit plans lock in and provide for funeral and burial expenses regardless of price increases. Employees can now take care of their family member without pressure. Choose from hundreds of funeral homes and cemeteries. Plans are completely transferable, even if your clients move to another state. The program pays some of the highest commissions in the group benefits area. Find out more. Go to eternalbenefit.com. That's eternalbenefit.com or call 602-315-2574. Eternalbenefit.com. That's eternalbenefit.com or call 602-315-2574.
At the Home Depot, we know pros want to be ready for whatever the job site has in store. That's why the Home Depot app is made for pros who don't miss a beat. You can power your jobs with rentals to get the tools, trucks, and equipment you need fast. And Pro Extra benefits to keep your business growing. For doing that doesn't stop. Download the Home Depot app. It's made for doing.
There are many questions to be answered for the Arizona Cardinals this preseason. Who will lead the Redbirds at quarterback when the season starts?
Dominate on 3, 1, 2, 3, dominate.
How well does this team adapt to a new offensive scheme? How will the new faces contribute to helping this team compete?
Everybody working. Everybody working.
When it comes to Arizona Cardinals training camp,
Here we go.
we talk about it. Your home for the NFL, playoffs, and Super Bowl 58. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Today's Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. And yes, we have started up another league. That's right. We have had to open up the doors and start letting some of you super fans of the Fourth Dimension in. Wow. And so now there's another league that's open. We have some spaces left open for you if you've wanted to try fantasy football and you never have, or maybe you're a damn good fantasy football player and you're thinking, I could take these fools for some money. Well, guess what? Harmon Solar is putting up cash prizes for every single one of our Daily Blender fantasy football leagues. You can win $100 if you come in and school those fools, as they say. And all you got to do is send me an email. You just send me an email and say you want to be a part of it. Randy, go ahead and play the thing. Blender at 1580thefanatic.com for fantasy football. Blender at 1580thefanatic.com for fantasy football. Simple as that. Just send me an email. I got an email last night. I'm not going to out the person. It was pretty funny. They're like, hey, I can't tell you what my secret identity is on the text line. And I was like, I know exactly who you are. And I sent him a reply and said, well, hello, so-and-so. And he's like, oh.
Jeffrey knows everything.
Yeah, come on, man. I got a database. What's wrong with you? And the nice thing about our database of all of our 1580 Fanatic texters is there's a couple thousand in there, but yet we will never use those phone numbers for any marketing purposes, ever. That was a promise that was made and kept a long time ago. So you're not going to get telemarketer calls from us. Now, I have been tempted to sit there with the 1580 The Fanatic app and send out a push notification of something really filthy. I really just love the idea that I could hit a button and it goes bloop on somebody's phone and somebody's wife looks down and it's like, oh, surprise. What the heck?
Yeah.
But I won't do it. It's a temptation. You would be too, but I won't do it. And we're of course, we'll never be tempted to use your information for anything other than what we do here on the Daily Blender. So anyway, yes, 1580 The Fanatic, the Daily Blender Fantasy Football Leagues, Blender at 1580 The Fanatic.
Yeah.
And then,
so we have 15 now. We have 15 teams now?
No.
Or leagues?
Teams. Jeez, we've got
leagues.
150 teams.
I mean, leagues.
Hold on a second. I got to deal with something, Randy. The Jet says, Jeffrey, don't act like you don't solicit sex from me through my cell phone. Moist One says, do your worst, you dirty man. Yeah, I know you'd like it, both of you. The answer is no.
See, and I know the Moist One texted that just to make you say that sentence. So again, shame on you. Like I have to say every damn day. I don't.
Me or him?
Him.
Kind of both.
Always. Kind of both this time, but mostly him all the time.
Well, whatever the case, no, I'm not going to send you dirty messages. Never have, never will. I'll give you Big George's phone number, though. Anybody wants to send him something nasty, I've got his phone number right here.
Big George would probably enjoy it.
No, yeah. I mean, try to word your filth in like the kind of stuff they would say on the Hallmark Channel, because, then he'd really enjoy it. Anyway,
I wish Big George would come to town for our big draft party we've got going on August 25th.
That would be cool. That would be cool. And anybody who wants to go, whether you're in a Daily Blender Fantasy Football League or not, all you got to do is come on out and hang out. There's no price to attend, and you are not required to be in a league. So, yeah, come on out and join us. It's at Dave & Buster's at the Tempe Marketplace, August 25th. We will be there from 3 p.m., probably past 8 p.m. And who knows how long we'll be hanging out there. So come on out and enjoy the party, enjoy the fun. We got giveaways, stuff like that.
Since we know the Coyotes are going to be looking in that area, what I'll do is I'll lead a tour over to the potential site, and we'll walk around that site, and I'll kind of show you everything.
You don't want to do that,
is going to be what?
You don't want to do that. For one thing, it'll still be hot out. You don't want to go out walking around when it's hot. And second, we still don't know for sure where the site is.
Theoretically speaking, I guess.
Mr. Pink Eye sent me his email address, says, I'll play. No, not that. You're not listening to instructions. You have to email that to me. You don't text it to me. You have to email it to me. Randy, play the thing again, because obviously these people aren't paying attention here. You got to email it to me, Mr. Pink Eye.
Blender at 1580thefanatic.com for fantasy football. Blender at 1580thefanatic.com for fantasy football.
How people are missing that. I mean, we hired the NBC orchestra and everything. And
I know. Listen, we're going to have raffles that day on August 25th. We have a Coleman Wherever You Go portable tailgate gas grill. It's a 2-burner, 11,000 BTU kind of thing. And there will be tickets to select ASU football games. And I'm sure more prizes when the day finally gets here. So, be sure. And Pink Eye, come on, man, send me an email. 888-368-1580. So, that whole Tim Anderson thing, him getting knocked the hell out. I'm just still enjoying that video. How long can I go back and keep watching it before it gets weird? Because it's just, you know, a lot of people argue back and forth about, oh, he's making the game fun. And some people are like, oh, he's disrespecting the game with all his silliness. But I don't even care about the bat flipping. What I care about is he squared up and he got his ass knocked out.
Yeah, he did. He started it. He incited the thing. That's why he got the 6-day suspension. Can I tell you, I go back every once in a while when I'm feeling blue and a little out of sorts. And I watch Rougned Odor just absolutely clean Joey Batista's clock.
Oh, that was a good fight too.
Remember when he stood up on him and he flexed and Rougned Odor was not not having any of it?
I always enjoy when sunglasses fly off.
When Joey Batista found himself in another universe.
And
what about the time when Nolan
bird
Ryan,
watching?
Yeah, when Nolan Ryan hit old Robin Ventura and he charged the mound like some sort of a fool.
We celebrated that just the other day.
When I feel blue, I go back and look at those. So I think you can, if you have that video at your availability, I think you should look at it anytime you want to, Jeffco.
When you brought that about is anybody else, when you heard Randy say, when I feel blue, think the next words will be, when you feel blue and don't know what to do. Sorry. It just all of a sudden now that's in my head.
Putting on the Ritz?
Putting on the Ritz.
Really?
Or from Young Frankenstein.
I
forgot about
the late great Peter Boyle on that, ladies and gentlemen.
Nice. So anyway, back to Tim Anderson. He got his ass knocked out, and so now the Cleveland Guardians minor league affiliate, they're having some fun with this. The Lake County Captains, Jason introduced a promo poking fun at Anderson, and here's the promos. Okay, they're like, "Hey, anybody named Tim, you get a free ticket to come and sit down on the grass," and in another, they're like, "Oh, also we're hosting a punch-out competition in the arcade." And then the team also included in this announcement a picture of a person wearing an Anderson jersey lying face down on the ground in the grass. So yes, why not? Why not? It's minor league. Why not?
It's minor league, and it's Tim Anderson made this big show of he was going to throw off his glove.
Yeah,
he was going to square up with Jose. He put his dukes up. And then got his ass knocked out.
Yeah.
All of the ridicule that comes with that, you should be okay with.
When I first saw the video, and all of a sudden Tim Anderson, he's not a big guy. His opponent was. Yes, Ramirez, kind of thick. And I'm like, wow, he must be a good fighter if he's going to square up against Ramirez. Oh, no, he's not. He's on the ground. That was really a bad idea.
I feel like that minor league club is missing something. If you wear a Tim Anderson jersey, we're going to give you drunk goggles and see if you can walk to your seat in a straight line. Kind of the way Tim Anderson was, helped off the field after the fight. So
I think you should give them a call. I think you should give them a call.
Wouldn't that be great?
So fun. Moist One says the game definitely hasn't been fun for Tim Anderson this year. He hasn't even hit a ball as hard as J-Rom hit him.
Well, I got to tell you, I mean, again, White Sox fans and players deserve better than what they're getting. And I don't know what's right. Jerry Reinsdorf needs to figure this out and bring somebody in there that's going to restore some good baseball to the fans of the Chicago White Sox. This is miserable. You got rookie pitchers sleeping in the bullpen. And don't
Tim
say
Anderson sleeping on the grass.
He got knocked out, so that was kind of. But listen, this team has got so much talent on it. I mean, I think I'm serious. I could go in there and I could turn this around, turn the culture around, and get this team and probably win a hell of a lot more games than they have this year. They just need some help. They need some leadership, man.
And it's making everybody worse. I mean, Tim Anderson, this is literally the lowest batting average of his entire career.
He's a good hitter, man.
Yeah,
he's a good hitter.
Moist One's trying to tail the tape me. He's like, hey, Tim Anderson's 6'1". Ramirez is 5'9". Yeah, but Ramirez is thicker and clearly can hit harder.
Yeah, because actually Ramirez only has 5 pounds on him.
Yeah, so
but just the way that they're built is just a more solid guy.
Yeah. Now, tall don't mean you're going to win the fight.
Tim Anderson's built like a light pole, and Ramirez is built like a fire plug.
Angel Hernandez is built like a potato, and
Oh,
still he sucks so bad. Now I don't know if you guys know this or not. We've talked about this before, but Angel Hernandez, he was out for most of this season. They said due to a medical issue. And so then he came back to the minors, and people were reporting on how bad he was doing then, right? And then he came back to the major leagues and immediately sucked. And in fact, on Sunday, Hernandez missed 23 calls behind the plate. You know, the people who chart those things and track the umpires.
Yeah.
And that was just, both games he did just as bad. It was a bad couple of games, and now he has already the worst correct call rate of all the big league umpires, and he's only been back 2 games.
Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do. The guy's protected by the umpire union, but they're going to have to figure something out here. This is so bad for the game. They've got to figure something out for this guy. Him and Laz Diaz. Laz Diaz, the day Booney came out of the dugout for the Yankees and imitated him, he'd had enough with Laz Diaz. Laz Diaz, he missed 22 calls that day in that game.
I thought
that's how bad that was.
So here's the thing. Baseball, fire these guys, and if you think you can't win the lawsuit that they might bring, settle. You got the money. You clearly have the money. Get rid of these guys. Get people in that do better, because I really wonder if you're not losing fans, you're not losing eyeballs on the game of baseball because of how frustrating it is sometimes to watch these umpires.
They have to be. You can't go through all the trouble of, all right, let's figure out ways to speed up the game. Let's put a pitch clock in there. Let's make it so that you can't infinitely, throw the ball to first base to keep a runner there. Let's add a pinch runner in extra innings. I know we hate that, but that's something that they did to try and speed up the game. Do all of these things and then not care whether or not the calls are correct. That's insane.
Yeah. So whatever it is, pay off the man for whatever filthy Rob Manfred pictures he has, or whatever it is that it makes you want to keep him around. Pay him, make him go away. And anybody else, I don't know, what should be the correct rate be before you get fired? 95%? I think 95% should be the standard. And if you drop below 95%, you go down to the minors. And if you can't get that number back up, you go down to the Home Depot, go to work, get a job.
I appreciate that, but I don't know that they can, for one game at 95%. I mean, it would have to be a series of games. So
I'm talking your average.
So 3 or 4 games and you're down below 95%.
No, I'm saying, Randy, you need to maintain an average of, and tell me if maybe higher is better or lower.
No, it should be higher.
Your career, you have to maintain a percentage of 95% or higher. And let's say you've done it for 30 years and you've had great things, but now all of a sudden you drop, boom. Yes. I mean, we want old people to get tested more regularly with their driving exams, so they're not out there doing wrong way driving and stupid crap on the roads. Let's get these damn umpires, at a basic allowed percentage of correctness. And if you dip below that for whatever reason, you're going down the minors till you fix it.
Which Angel Hernandez is at 93%.
Bye-bye.
Overall, his accuracy with that, by the way, would put him well below the league average of umpires. So it's not just,
if he's at 93, then maybe 95 is too, maybe it should be 98% then. Maybe I've been too generous saying 95%.
The total of runs impacted is 74%, which is well above. He affects the game in such a brutal way that I can't imagine any cost that makes sense in keeping him. Why would that be better than just saying, hey, we'll deal with the union, but that guy has to go?
Maybe everybody in Major League Baseball is afraid of his wife.
Well, that could be. Or maybe the players union and baseball need to get together and approach the umpires union and say enough's enough. This guy is hurting the game of baseball. And now he needs to be let go. He needs to retire, forced to retirement, or you need to get rid of this guy.
And maybe you just don't have the leverage in these negotiations, but you go to the union and say, hey, look, what do we have to give you to make it so that guys who are performing at that level don't get to stick around? What do we have to concede to make that possible? Because it has to be worth it. The game, the integrity of it has to be worth it.
Moist One says, sorry, guys, robot umpire is coming. Now, when Moist One says that, it sounds dirty.
Just
yeah.
But in the, the normal of our conversation, I welcome the robot umpire. Not the way Moist One does.
Not at all, but no one does really.
Yeah, it's probably a good time for a break. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
At SimpliSafe, we've designed award-winning home security with advanced sensors, HD cameras, and now this 24/7 LifeGuard protection only from SimpliSafe. Now, monitoring agents can see and speak to intruders through our new indoor camera to help stop crime in real time and for fast police response. Get 20% off any new system with Fast Protect monitoring at simplisafe.com/radio. Advanced home security, 24/7 professional monitoring for less than $1 a day. There's no safe like SimpliSafe.
Seems like everything is going electric these days. Electric cars, electric trucks. But what you save on gas, you pay for with that electric bill. With all these things being plugged into your house, wouldn't it be nice to save up to 85% on your monthly electric bill? Well, you can do that with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Call Harmon Solar. Harmon Solar is a family-owned, woman-owned local company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189. Or go to harmonsolar.com.
If you are an IT professional looking for an opportunity with great benefits, the freedom to creatively solve problems in a career with great growth potential and a team environment, look no further than Affinity Technology. Serving the Valley since 1992, Affinity Technology is looking for a level 1 tech to develop and deliver excellent solutions and outstanding customer service. Visit atechaz.com/jobs and get started with your future today. That's atechaz.com/jobs.
You ready for a crazy time? Well, we're going back to Dave & Buster's at the Tempe Marketplace for our Daily Blender Fantasy Football Draft Party Friday, August 25th. We're going to broadcast the Daily Blender live from 3 to 6 p.m. And then at 7 p.m., all the Blender leagues are going to draft together. It's always nuts and a ton of fun. You don't even have to be in one of our leagues to come and hang out. Join the Daily Blender at Dave & Buster's at the Tempe Marketplace, 3 p.m. till we're done partying. Friday, August 25th, here on 1580 The Fanatic.
For the latest from the world of golf, tune in every Saturday morning from 6 to 8 for the Golf Shop Radio Show, presented by PlayGolfMyrtleBeach.com, the golf capital of the world. Hosts Mark Greenhelch and Matt Blanchard talk golf from tee to green and everything in between. If you like golf, you're going to love Golf Shop Radio. Before you tee up, drop on in. Welcome to the Golf Shop here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
The most important event in sports could happen at any time. Like right now. Or right now. Or even now. Don't miss history. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, or at 1580thefanatic.com.
It is women's soccer time, and the women are on the world stage. Yes! No better place to get in on all the action than FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. Right now, new customers get a no-sweat first bet up to $1,000. That's $1,000 back in bonus bets. That's up to $1,000 back in bonus bets. If your first bet doesn't win, just go to FanDuel.com/Randy1580 and join today. I think I like Columbia to win it all. I don't know. I've been watching the highlights because I have to. I'm forced to. I'm not a big soccer guy, but I have been watching the highlights, and I mean, if I were going to put money down, which I'm not, I would take Columbia.
I predict England.
So Jeffrey's going to take England. Keon, who you got?
They invented soccer.
Hasn't helped them win it very much, but I'm going to take the French. The French. They ran over Morocco the other day, 4 goals.
Well, I mean, it's kind of Morocco.
Yeah, but they made it to
now. If they play camel polo, Morocco wins. Anyway,
that sounds fun.
Camel polo.
Yeah, I play that.
Except the camels are really pissed all the time.
Yeah, really pissed. Camels spit, and then they've got that wonky way that they walk. So
yeah, and they smell. They stink.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. Anyway, what was I saying?
Yeah, horses don't smell great either.
Don't miss your chance to get a no-sweat first bet up to $1,000 when you join FanDuel today. Just go to FanDuel.com/Randy1580 and sign up. Make every moment more with FanDuel. Got to be 21 or older, present in Arizona. First online real money wager only. $10 deposit required. Refund issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire in 7 days. Restrictions apply. See full terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. Gambling problem, 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342. Jeff.
Thank you, Randy. And Baker's Coggy Hens, he says, hey, why don't we want robot umpires at this point? It's not like, it's like not having cameras on cops. The camera shows the truth and everyone can see it clearly. Why let an idiot human ruin it with a mistake?
Well,
mistakes are for the Diamondbacks, not for the umps.
No, mistakes are not for the Diamondbacks. B, I'm not against the robot umpires. I'll be honest with you. And I don't know that many people are against the robot umpire, except the absolute purists. And they're like, few and far between nowadays. I think a lot of people enjoy some of the modifications that have been made to the game of baseball to speed it up. And I think that you have to, if you want a good game, you don't want some clown ass out there like Angel Hernandez, who doesn't give a rip about this game. He's just out there to collect a paycheck. That's all he's out there for. He doesn't care about a game. He doesn't care about this great game of baseball. He's just out there to get his game check. That's all he's out there for. So bring in the robot umpires. The problem is they keep having these fools stand behind the plate with the earbuds in, and the computer tells them what it is. I say get rid of those guys too. If it's a strike, the loudspeaker says strike. And if it's a ball, it says ball, period. The end.
Yeah, I'm good with that. Big George says, Randy, Columbia is not going to win at all. George has thoughts on women's soccer.
So, George, who's going to win it all then?
Says, they played some easy teams like Jamaica in the round of 16. Columbia is going down to England in the quarterfinals. And the English are my favorites to win it all, along with the French. He just stole my idea.
What about Japan? Nobody's talking about Japan.
I didn't even know they were there.
And Japan scored 6 goals in one game.
And they scored 3 against Norway in the knockout round.
And how do I know this much about the damn women's soccer?
Because you've been watching the highlights.
I don't know how you know this.
Mostly because you have to, but still, you've been watching the highlights.
That explains that headache you keep talking about.
Oh, my God, it hurts so bad.
Bruno Baller says, Angel Hernandez once threw out Steve McMichael from My Baseball Game after he sang the 7th inning. Yeah, we talked about that. It was actually on this date in Big George's sports history because he was criticizing Hernandez. He threw him out of the game. I can't believe that they let him get away with that. Against the Spread says Angel Hernandez can't be fired due to the American Disabilities Act. That dude will umpire the game one day with a guide dog and a cane. Mark my words. Well, he should be doing that now.
What does that mean? The American Disabilities Act.
Are you saying that it's because he's already blind?
I think that's clear.
Yeah, that must be it. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So let's talk now. On from horrible umpiring to horrible networks. ESPN. ESPN had to fire most everybody that was making money, and they did it in a corporate way, not in a oh my gosh, we really need to save our business way. If it was a save our business way, they would have flat fired everybody. But they didn't. They said, well, we're laying people off, and we're going to pay off your contract.
Well,
who knows how long some of these contracts were? And so they paid millions and millions of dollars to not have these guys work for them so that the books would look good next year or next quarter. However it is they're charting their financial woes and successes. And so, you're like, wow. Then all of a sudden, ESPN has $1.5 billion over the next 10 years to purchase ESPN Bet. They are going to now turn that whole Barstool sportsbook thing into ESPN Bet. And I can't see any conflict of interest, Ian Schefter. I can't see this going bad in any way whatsoever. And they're saying, hey, no. We're going to keep our insiders far away from the gambling focused programs. It doesn't matter. We've already shown you guys a way where, I don't know, it was Adam Schefter.
It was Shams. It was Shams Charania.
That's
and
right.
He has a he's part of that FanDuel podcast network. So even though he was reporting on something outside of FanDuel, because he's connected to FanDuel, it caused people to sway their bets with what he was saying.
And it did happen to go into the favor of the sports bettors, but of the house. But anyway, so here's the thing. Penn National is going to I'm sorry, I got that backwards. Actually, the sports book is paying ESPN $1.5 billion. Oh, well then hire
over the next 10
back.
years. Yeah.
Hire them all back quick.
Well, they're not doing that.
Well, they can't. They got to pay Pat McAfee.
Oh, I got that backwards. Sorry about that.
And they've got to pay Steve Levy.
But the conflict of interest is still very much there.
Oh, no. The conflict of interest for all the insiders they have, that is an issue for sure.
They got to pay Greenberg.
You don't have to pay him much.
You got to pay Stephen A. Smith. I mean, all these quality broadcasts, they've got to pay all those.
Stephen A. Smith some beef jerky. He's happy.
I don't think he is.
Didn't you see the commercials? He loves that stuff.
That's true.
I think he was getting paid, so he said whatever they wanted him to say.
Oh, he was getting beef jerky. Didn't you see it fall down in the stomach?
Wasn't he playing the part of your stomach, being happy that beef jerky was there?
in your stomach.
Yeah. Just saying.
Yeah, I think he was saying that he liked it because he was getting paid to do so.
So ESPN's getting $1.5 billion, and they're also getting $500 million in stock over the next decade. But then they're purchasing 31 million shares of Penn National. So I'm a little bit confused on who's paying who and what's what. But they're partnering up, and now the ESPN has their own sports book going on. I got to be honest with you. That makes me a little bit itchy. I mean, FanDuel does its own thing. Other sports books, they do their own thing. But now, a place a lot of people go to for sports information, not us, we like CBS, but a lot of places, a lot of people go to this place, and now there's a sports book sitting right there with it. It's just kind of like,
yeah. I mean,
I'm not just suspicious of the insiders, Keon. I'm suspicious of the whole damn thing now.
Well, you have to be. It is, and they can tell us that it's separate all they want to, but you're going to have to, every time you place a bet there, question which part of the operation, anytime you hear a story on ESPN, is coming from the betting part of the operation or the quote unquote journalism part of the operation. It makes it less journalism all the time. When Adam Schefter reports something, you do have to think about how does that affect the lines specifically for them? And are their lines going to be shaded in favor of the house because they have certain inside information? Do they delay the release of that information if it helps the book? Do they put out information that maybe they normally wouldn't have if that helps the book? Like, all of that stuff is stuff you have to consider now, because those two things shouldn't be the same thing. Separation of powers. We have it in our government. Maybe we should probably have it in our sports network.
Yeah. Pro Dog says, hey, I forgot to mention that 35 years ago yesterday, 8/8/88, I was at the first night game at Wrigley Field. That was a hell of a party. It did rain out that night, but the party did go on.
Mm-hmm. Wow,
Yeah.
you were there. Good for you.
Took them that long to finally turn on some damn lights, huh?
Yeah, well, now I understand that back in World War II, when the America got involved in World War II, they actually had lights for Wrigley they were going to install at the field, but they sat on the rail cars out there in the rail yard because World War II happened, and they couldn't get those lights up. So,
well, between the end of the war and August
88,
yeah. I feel like they had opportunities.
So somewhere between 45 and 88,
Just saying. Wing Guru says, some of those guys that ESPN sacked were terrible anyway. I can't wait until Jay Will gets 86. ESPN is bad. It's a bad idea.
They keep the bad guys, aka Steve Levy and Greenberg and Stephen A. And they sack the good people.
And Chris Berman, who has been good in decades, it feels like, is
He's
just
still there
unfireable
somehow.
Unfireable.
Well, let me ask you a question there. Mike Golick, we all like Mike Golick, and he does a good job doing play-by-play and stuff on Westwood One. And that half of Mike and Mike, yeah, we're good with that. But What's the problem with Mike Greenberg? I've never
Oh,
watched that morning show, so I don't know.
Oh, well, you just watch the morning show. Just commit to it for 5 days. Just 5 days.
My problem with him is that he's boring and he has the most milquetoast opinion on everything.
He's boring. Everything. He leads the show every day with the Dallas Cowboys or Dak Prescott or Aaron Rodgers or the New York Jets. So every single day, it doesn't matter what's going on. That's the lead to get up every day.
So no hot takes. He's cold oatmeal.
Oh yeah, he's just colder than cold.
It's not interesting in any way.
Randy's chuckle says Japan to win in the soccer. Yeah. Big George says, Jeffrey, this is just Disney continuing, to sell. That's all. Yeah, I get you, man. I get you, but we're out of time. So 2 more hours to go after this. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
I don't feel good.
I'll grab the Vicks DayQuil Kids Honey.
Isn't DayQuil just for parents?
Actually, Vicks DayQuil Kids Honey is just for kids. Specially designed to treat kids' most bothersome cold symptoms quickly with a honeylicious tasting flavor kids like.
You know what else kids like?
DayQuil Kids Honey first, then video games.
Deal.
Vicks DayQuil Kids Honey. The kids' honeylicious daytime coughing, congestion, stuffy head, stuffy nose medicine. Safe for ages 6+.
When you run a business, you need to be in control. And while you can't control everything that happens in the world of business, you can definitely take control of your utility expenses with the help of Harmon Solar. Give them a call and see how your company can save up to 80% on that monthly electric bill with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Harmon Solar is a local family-owned company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189. Or go to harmonsolar.com.
If you're an agent or broker in group benefits, get ready to learn about an exciting and innovative new program to offer your clients. Eternal Benefit is now offering the first pre-planning program that's available as a payroll deduction and allows benefits for the entire family. Our pre-planning program can include coverage for yourself, your spouse, plus your immediate family, including parents, children, grandparents, and even aunts, uncles, and cousins. Looking for a great reason to contact your clients? This is it. No more meetings where you have nothing new to offer. Eternal Benefit plans lock in and provide for funeral and burial expenses regardless of price increases. Employees can now take care of their family member without pressure. Choose from hundreds of funeral homes and cemeteries. Plans are completely transferable, even if your clients move to another state. The program pays some of the highest commissions in the group benefits area. Find out more. Go to eternalbenefit.com. That's eternalbenefit.com or call 602-315-2574. Eternalbenefit.com. That's eternalbenefit.com or call 602-315-2574.
And now, here are the top 3 things experts recommend you do to survive the summer with a broken AC. 1, breathe very slowly. 2, do not make any sudden moves until help arrives.
Just ignore it.
3, calmly express your disappointment to your husband for neglecting service on your air conditioner.
They finally get me unstuck from this leather chair. I'm gonna kick your...
Summers in Arizona are brutal. That's why thousands of Arizonans depend on Desert Diamond Air. From 24/7 emergency service to diagnostic checkups to full replacement, Desert Diamond specializes in both residential and commercial HVAC systems with competitive pricing and experience to service and repair all major AC brands. With federal tax credits up to $2,000, it's a great time to replace your AC system. Go to desertdiamondair.com or call 602-362-4599. That's 602-362-4599. Or search Desert Diamond Air on your mobile phone.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM. And K240U Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time.
Time for what? Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 4 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. And Big George, oh, crap. Why do you always give us bad news, George? He says,
Big George?
Disney announced today they're raising the price of Hulu Live by a $7 a month. Means $7 more a month?
Yeah.
Wait a second. I've got like the whole thing with the Disney Plus, Hulu, and the ESPN Plus. He says, Disney is hemorrhaging money and they're cutting in the wrong places, trying to gain new revenue streams in the wrong ways. Meanwhile, Disney and Bob Iger are one of the corporations fighting the writers and the actors. Yeah, that's kind of a mess. Makes you wonder how much longer there's going to be anything to watch on TV.
Well, Disney is already planning within the next 2 years. All of Disney's content will be behind the paywall. Everything.
What do you mean? I mean,
you won't be able to watch ESPN on regular TV. You'll have to have a subscription to watch ESPN.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
So like, their Monday Night Football and all that other business, it's going behind the pay. If you want to watch Monday Night Football, you got to pay ESPN to watch Monday Night Football.
I'll get real choosy because I got news for you. At least my generation, Randy's generation, I don't know about Keon's generation, but our generations, we didn't have to see every damn game. I enjoy the ability to see every damn game.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy having the Sunday ticket where I can see whatever game anytime I want, wherever I want. I like that. I appreciate having the ability, but if I don't watch Monday Night Football, I can get over that. Or like Keon wisely does, I'll go to a sports bar who does pay for it.
Well,
and
there
I'll
you
watch
go.
it there.
If there's a game you really want to see, you'll go somewhere and watch it.
Mhm.
But I'm not going to pay Disney or Disney, Disney to watch sports. I'm not going to pay a subscription to watch Sports Center. No way. And that's really all I watch on ESPN.
And Randy's right, because going to the ESPN to try and read some of these articles, it's very frustrating when they have a really good one and you get to read the first paragraph and they're like, well, if you have ESPN Plus, you can read the rest of it.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Well, I have ESPN Plus, and I got to tell you, the rest of that article's not that good. It's just not.
There's literally two people where I'm like, man, I really wish I could.
I hope quality places like CBS, I hope they don't go behind a paywall because this is getting ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
I think that a lot of these companies, not just the streaming services, but a lot of the news companies and outlets, they have overestimated how much people are willing to pay for things. Because I can't pay for a subscription to like 6 different websites to read those, and then 5 different streaming services to watch those. Like at some point, you guys have to realize we should start making money.
Yeah, and I hope that sinks in pretty quick here.
I have made money, and I ain't paying it.
So what does that say about the rest of us?
Well, you're pretty screwed.
Goddamn right.
So I'm at that point where I'm ready to start. Like I told you, I was getting it. I watched that episode on the Hard Knocks of on the HBO Max. I've been telling you guys, I'm thinking about getting rid of HBO Max. So I watched the episode, and it's a sappy love letter to Aaron Rodgers and the Jets. There's no substance. You've
got to see that coming.
It was just syrup, straight up syrup. It made Aaron Rodgers look like a good guy. Like, hey, I'm a fun guy. And with everything you could tell, it's like, we don't want to do Hard Knocks, but if we're going to do Hard Knocks, you're going to do our version. It was like watching the Cardinals All or Nothing. Just nothing negative about the team, nothing negative about anything. And so, I watched that, and after it was over, I was like, yeah, I don't think I want to keep HBO Max still. That's not enough.
I don't think you're going to get negative stuff about the team. Like it's Hard Knocks has never been about that. Just sort of like,
well, there's stress or strife between players or a coach or whatever. This was just love fest. You got to watch it.
Yeah, I'll check it out. And the first one, just depending on the team, they're just trying to introduce the players, introduce the characters, kind of, because they haven't played any games yet. So then you get that first preseason game, and then usually there's something else there. Usually.
So we now know who else is going to be on with clown ass Skip Bayless. Yesterday we told you Richard Sherman was going to do like 150 shows or something weird like that, and we're like, wow, he's going to murder him. And they do not like each other, and well, we don't like either of them. And so now they're like, all right. So we got Lil Wayne, who's going to come in now and then. We got Richard Sherman. You didn't know that?
Lil Wayne is a friend of Skip Bayless
Yeah.
for whatever reason. He actually did
hell?
the intro to the show.
What?
Yeah.
The intro to the show is done by Lil Wayne.
So now they're like, who could we find who is really unlikable but available? And they did. They found somebody. Rachel Nichols. Rachel Nichols is going to be on the show with Skip Bayless now. And if you remember her, I'm surprised that they're even bringing her out of mothballs for this. She got in some trouble, and back in the day, and she was saying some damn near close to racist stuff during a meeting about who was going to do what, and I can't remember.
I can't remember either. I'm trying to remember
the name of the girl that she was. Oh, Maria Taylor.
Yeah, isn't she she's the host now on Sunday Night Football, right?
Yes. It's a good for her for saying, okay, I'm getting out of this toxic environment. But it was Maria Taylor. And so Rachel Nichols, didn't look good. And I don't think she's done anything for a couple of years, right? So now they found a dislikable Rachel Nichols to go with an unlikable Richard Sherman and Lil Wayne, who we're all pretty sure is always high.
I'm going to find it interesting if I watch this show at all, which I never have.
I'm not going to watch this.
Even in its inception, I didn't watch the damn show. I didn't like Skip Bayless when he was on ESPN. If I watch it when they have, I want to watch the one with Richard Sherman on there, and I want to see Maria Taylor, because I have a feeling Skip Bayless is going to make hamburger meat out of her.
Wait, what? Maria Taylor? No, Maria Taylor is on
NBC.
You mean Rachel Nichols?
I mean Rachel Nichols. I apologize.
Yeah, I don't know. I saw some of the show because I did like Shannon. I thought that he played into the, let's just be bombastic about this, but let's have fun. He was trying to have fun with that show, where Skip was doing the thing where Skip has to win every argument, even if the argument makes no sense whatsoever. And so it's a hard show to watch. And I don't know if any of the three people they brought in, maybe Lil Wayne, because like Jeffrey said, he'll probably be constantly high. Mm-hmm. So I don't think they're going to make it a fun show. That, they're just going to be there for Skip to roll over, which everybody knows.
Isn't it a thing if you you have an enemy, the rappers, they put a line in there about how bad they don't like you in their new hit song? Isn't that a thing?
I mean, it depends.
Like if they put you in there in like a negative light in their song, that's like a thing.
Yeah, they're diss tracks.
Yeah. Okay, diss tracks. There you go. That's what it is. Yeah. I have a feeling. I have a feeling Lil Wayne will be writing some diss tracks about Skip Bayless.
Is that friendship over?
Yeah, I have a feeling.
I can't believe they're continuing the show.
I can't either. Because I feel like Shannon Sharp was the show, and you're not going to find another Shannon Sharp out there anywhere. And it's too bad that he left, because that's the only thing that would make the show worth watching. So,
Big George says, how about instead of Rachel Nichols, Skip Bayless, and Richard Sherman, can't we just get a show where Keon and Ralph argue all the time with Randy as moderator? Well, what am I going to do?
You're just going to kick Jeffrey out in the cold? That seems unfair.
That's fine. I'm about done with this crap anyway. Randy's Chuckle says, Randy, are starting pitchers going the way of running backs? I see more and more bullpen games. Seems like most pitchers can't go 5 innings. Diamondbacks, it's lights out in 4 innings. Then he gets shelled. Seems like paying 10 pitchers $5 million to pitch 1 inning is more cost effective than paying one pitcher $50 million for once a week.
Thank you very much. I've been saying that for several years now. Why are you overpaying pitchers to come in when they're not going to give you more than 6 innings? And this is welcome to the world of analytics. This is what the guys up in the front office are telling with all their calculators and their slide rulers. They're telling Torey Lovullo, we only want this guy to go X amount of time, because after the 5th inning, he gets shelled. And so you want to change it up and you want to bring in this other guy after the 5th inning. And they're so sold out on the analytics that they're unwilling to do anything else. Meanwhile, the Dodgers just keep beating our ass. Davey Roberts, the easiest job in baseball, just runs out there. I don't know. He's got Mookie Betts at the top of the lineup. Freddie Freeman in the number 2 hole, Max Muncy in there. I mean, what does he have to do? He just runs the same lineup out there. Doesn't matter what's going on. Meanwhile, Torey Lovello, he just keeps changing the lineup every week. Like I change my underwear every day. He's got a different lineup out there.
Hefty Lefty says, I wish they got Kevin Garnett to be on the show for basketball segments just to scare the ever-loving poop out of Skip Bayless every time he tries to tell KG he's wrong.
That's a good take.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Lost Toby says, I second the idea for that show. Jeffrey, well, you can just dance in the background.
I think that show should just be a number of people. They already have Richard Sherman. Just fill the rest of the week with 4 other people who could just beat the ass of Skip Bayless and just put the fear of God into him. I would watch that show every night.
You get a more honest version, right?
Yeah, you have Kevin Garnett in there. Definitely.
I think once a week you need to bring in Kevin Hart. He'll wash the floor up with Skip Bayless.
Or any comic that knows sports, because those guys usually tend to run circles around Skip because Skip doesn't know what to do with the humor.
Right. Mm-hmm. And they're so damn fast. Like if Jeffrey was on there with Skip, it would be over.
Tear him shreds.
It would be over.
I don't put comedians I like on that show because I don't want to watch it. I certainly don't want to be on that show. So good thing I'm absolutely nobody. I'd be afraid if they asked me.
Yeah, if you went on that show, it would be over.
Baker's
Skip wouldn't know what to do. He'd be crying.
Probably. Baker's Cocky Hen says, Jeffrey, you're surprised that Fox brings on an anchor who's controversial to ESPN and ABC? Seems about right. Just put Skip Bayless with Woody Page and change their clothes and seats often and let people figure out who's who.
Oh, boy.
Random Texture says, it's really actually too bad Skip Bayless on that show because the concept, though, is really cool. What's the concept? 2 guys just sitting there yelling at each other.
I feel like that we've had that concept since Skip Bayless and Stephen A started doing their thing on cold pizza before it became First Take. That we've had that for a long time. What's new about it?
It started in New York City with the Mad Dog, Mike and the Mad Dog.
Right.
And Mad Dog, he's a guy like Skip Bayless. He just yells.
They've got Mad Dog with Stephen A over on the ESPN now.
And so this is all they're trying to do, is trying to capitalize that. And I think it's an old, tired format. They need to change it up and think outside the box. I like what Jeffrey said when what was it? Cornelius Bennett. What was the guy's name that was on there with Acho on the Fox
Marcellus
show?
Wiley.
Marcellus Wiley. Yeah. See, now that was different because they weren't yelling back and forth. They were talking about it intelligently. Sometimes it got heated. Sometimes it got funny, but they were just breaking it down from what they saw.
Mm-hmm.
So
King Kittens wants you all to know that he changes his underwear twice daily after every shower.
Thank you.
Thanks, King Kittens. Hamilton Border says Skip Bayless' show is developed into the sports version of The View.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think that's what they turned Speak for Yourself into now. That's what that feels like. It's like just a panel of 4 people saying a bunch of stuff nobody cares about.
Yeah.
You are absolutely right. So let's talk about Jon Rahm and his vision for the future, Randy.
Okay.
Jon Rahm,
yes,
he's an idea man, a lot like me. I got all sorts of great ideas.
Yeah.
I have come up with many great ideas. We haven't gotten around to doing them yet, but I have a lot of good ideas. Well, Jon Rahm is a pretty basic idea, and this should be implemented on every golf course, if you ask me.
Okay.
Jon Rahm was at an event for the FedEx playoffs, and he's like, I think something we need to do here is what we need is a porta potty at every hole.
No, I agree.
Here's the thing. It doesn't have to look like a blue or green porta potty. Just make it look like a old wood outhouse, just kind of off to the side, and it's players only, not for the crowd. And so you get to that hole and you're like, excuse me, get in there, come right back out quick as you can. I agree. There should be a porta potty disguised tastefully at every hole.
I agree with that 110%.
I'm actually surprised that doesn't already exist.
Well, it doesn't. And that's one of the biggest complaints I have when I'm out playing golf, especially when it's a little warmer and I'm drinking a lot of fluids.
Mm-hmm.
There's like 1 or 2 holes. There's 2 holes. There's the first slash 18th, and then there's the 9th or 10th that have a toilet on it.
I thought we were
The
counting
rest of
holes. I have 7.
No, I wasn't counting holes. Never mind. Yeah, you have nowhere to go to the restroom unless you go out into the woods somewhere. And sometimes it's a desert course and you can't go out into the woods.
Do tear ducts count as holes? I have 9. 9 holes. Do they count?
I don't think they do. They're
I think
ducts.
they do.
They're not holes.
They're the little holes right there in your eyes.
No, they're ducts. I think ducts are different than holes.
I'd like to get a consult with any of the doctors who listen to the show.
Would you call the air conditioning holes in your house?
Well, there's a hole in the ceiling there.
Or is it a duct?
Yeah, it's a hole. It has
air conditioning duct.
Randy, you have to cut a hole to get the duct to it.
I think a hole is isolated. Okay, now your
1,
derriere
2.
got a hole in it.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
There's no duct connected up to. Well, I guess it probably should.
See,
probably is.
There is. There is. So
that's a good point, Jeffrey.
That's what I'm saying. I think maybe I have 9 holes.
Maybe 9 holes. So you got your 2 eyes. You got your tear ducts.
Right.
So that's 4. You
Ear
got
holes.
2 nostrils. So that's 6. You got
Nostrils.
8. You got a mouth.
Wait.
I think
you're
you have
over
more
counting now.
What do you mean?
Okay, let me do the count. 2 eyes, 2
Yeah, 2
ears,
Yeah, 4.
2 nostrils,
Yeah, 6.
1 mouth.
Yeah, 7.
And then you get the eye holes. So that's 9. Oh,
9.
So that means we have 11 holes.
Yeah.
11 holes. We have 11 holes.
Yeah, more than that. You got more than that.
I just gave you the pee hole and the boot hole. So
no, you didn't. You didn't give me.
I didn't count those.
No, you didn't count the.
That was the last thing I counted. I didn't say it out loud.
You didn't. No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
All right, here we go again.
All right.
The rear end and the pee hole. Okay, that's 2.
That's 2.
And then you move up, and then you get to the mouth. There's 3.
3
nostrils.
Yeah, it's
4,
5.
5.
Yeah.
The tear ducts.
7.
6, 7.
Yeah.
And then the ear holes.
Yeah.
8, 9.
8, 9.
Wait,
But
what
the
did I
tear
forget?
ducts are 10, 11. You have 11 holes.
I counted the ear holes.
No, the tear ducts. 11. You have 11 holes.
I said that earlier. You said I was wrong. Now I've lost count.
You got 4 just right here. You got 4
4?
just right here. You got 2
4
tear ducts. And you got 2 tear ducts. So you got 2 eye holes. That's 4.
It's not an eye hole.
What do you mean it's not an eye hole? Your
The eyeball
sits
is
in.
filling it. It's not a hole. It's just where the eye is. So
Oh,
that
I
doesn't
see what you're
count.
saying now.
Yeah, nothing's going in or out.
I see what you're
It's
saying.
coming out
now.
the tear duct.
What
Thank you very
happens
much.
if you sneeze real hard and your eye pops out?
That's awesome. And that's reserved for only people with glass eyes. Glass eye people
So you can't
have
count that then?
an extra hole. All right, we're
just
going to take a
run
break so I can actually, I'm going to count. I'm going to get an official count.
You're going to get a text from
7,
Moist One that we're all going to
9.
just throwing
The
that.
belly
out there.
button is not a hole, pink eye. It's a
No.
divot. That's yeah. It's a daily blender here on 1580, the Fanatic.
Still have 9.
I'm going to count.
We're
again.
going abroad for the first time in years to Spain. So we started using Babbel.
And started learning Spanish fast.
With Babbel, you can start having conversations in another language in just 3 weeks.
¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo te llamas?
When you learn a language, you want to actually use it. Babbel is designed with that goal in mind.
In just 3 weeks, we're starting to have conversations in Spanish. Gracias, Babbel.
Babbel, language for life. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's BABBEL.com.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-452-5050. That's 1-800-452-5050. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-452-5050. That's 1-800-452-5050.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
You ready for a crazy time? Well, we're going back to Dave & Buster's at the Tempe Marketplace for our Daily Blender Fantasy Football Draft Party Friday, August 25th. We're going to broadcast the Daily Blender live from 3 to 6 p.m. And then at 7 p.m., all the Blender leagues are going to draft together. It's always nuts and a ton of fun. You don't even have to be in one of our leagues to come and hang out. Join the Daily Blender at Dave & Buster's at the Tempe Marketplace, 3 p.m. till we're done partying. Friday, August 25th, here on 1580 The Fanatic.
At SimpliSafe, we've designed award-winning home security with advanced sensors, HD cameras, and now this 24/7 LiveGuard protection, only from SimpliSafe. Now, monitoring agents can see and speak to intruders through our new indoor camera to help stop crime in real time and for fast police response. Get 20% off any new system with Fast Protect monitoring at simplisafe.com/radio. Advanced home security, 24/7 professional monitoring for less than $1 a day. There's no safe like SimpliSafe.
Cowboy boots are more than functional. They're works of art. At Boot Barn, we see a cowboy boot not only as a symbol of the West, but also as a unique masterpiece. Corral designs their boots with artistry in mind. From striking laser-cut inlays to Western embroidery, their handcrafted boots are dedicated to artistic craftsmanship for cowboy boots made to be worn and collected. Corral boots at Boot Barn.
There's a storm coming, crackling with lightning, pounding with thunder. A storm that crosses all borders and oceans. This is the NFL. Coming this fall, experience all the regular season games, playoffs, and the ultimate prize. Super Bowl 58, live from Las Vegas. The NFL returns to 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, your exclusive home for the NFL and Super Bowl 58.
It's a Daily Blender. I should have done that before.
What? What's going on there?
I got a little something in this hole.
Oh, see, yeah. Well, no, we counted them out. Counted them out, didn't we?
Sorry about that. Hey, it's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Now, I've written up a diagram.
Right.
And I've numbered them.
So you got eye holes.
Yeah, the eye holes 1 and 2. Those are for the tear ducts. That's where the eyes go.
Okay, all right. Yeah.
So
1,
2, and then 3, 4 for the ears, 5, 6 for the nostrils, 7 for the mouth hole, and then as you see right here, one of them is the dark hole, and one of them is the other hole, and that's 8 and 9. So men have 9, women have 10 because they have a little some extra.
Well, now wait a minute. No, they'd only have 9.
That's 10.
No, they'd have 9.
It would be 10.
Mm-hmm. Because they have.
Why would it be 10?
They have the vajay.
Yeah.
And also a pee hole.
Mm-hmm.
So that counts. Just trust me, Rand. Don't make me explain this anymore. Just trust me on the count.
Now I'm kind of sad I slept through all those anatomy classes.
Mm-hmm. It's very medical what we just did. I think Screaming Eagle would be proud of us.
I've been married nearly 40 years, and I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Miss Kim, are you listening? Is that true? Is that accurate?
What do you mean, is it true?
I just thought I would ask an expert.
All right. Well, you can get confirmation, but I'm pretty sure I'm right.
Women's anatomy. I'd ask an expert.
Let's get back to the text line, 888-368-1580.
Do we dare after with this conversation?
Oh, it's brave.
You are a man of courage,
It
Jeffrey
has
O'Brien.
already happened. Like whenever the next time you choose to go to the text line is, like if you said, "Oh, I know where this is going," we're not going to go to the text line until tomorrow. They'll wait.
It'd still be there.
That's the fourth dimension.
We have no choice. Navy Brad says, hello, everyone. Well, Saturday we had a server power outage. All my electronics got fried. Even with the warranty, this is not covered. So having to buy a new TV, and it's very sad. Oh, man, Navy Brad, that sucks, man. Yeah, did you have the power surge things on there? Did it blow the power surge thing? The reason I ask is you might get the brand of the surge protector, contact them and say, hey, I was using your surge protector and I still lost my equipment. You may have a claim there for them to help replace some of your electronics.
Oh, boy.
It's worth trying, man. I know. Damn the man. You're going up against the machine, but it's worth a try. Moist One says he wants a diagram. It's on the YouTube live, so you go back and rewind, and you can get it there, Moist One.
We're not releasing this diagram. No.
But there's nothing wrong with it. It's not dirty or nothing.
Well, I guess we could then, but they would have to subscribe to Daily Blender today.
Sorry?
Subscribe. That's it's our new subscription service, the Daily Blender today.
Well, nobody's told me about it.
Oh yeah, you subscribe Daily Blender today, and for your monthly fee of roughly somewhere around $6 or $7 a month.
I think we probably should have talked about this before you decided
to subscribe, and then you get diagrams.
Mm-hmm.
You get unsolicited phone calls, things like that.
Well, we're not doing. No, I already said earlier we're not doing that, Randy.
Unsolicited phone calls with text message, random text messages.
That's a good fee. Random text messages from Randy White. You can sign up for that service.
It's all part of the package at Daily Blender today.
There's no package.
It's a subscription service that we're offering now.
We're definitely gonna need a meeting before
$7 or $8
I stamp
a month.
approval on that.
I'm not sure what it is yet. $7 or $8 a month, I think.
George is he agrees with my whole count. Mr. Pink Eye says Tempe residents are a-holes. Hefty Lefty says, I don't know about holes, but there are over 60 sphincters in the human body.
Excuse me?
Well, the one we think of is obvious, but inside the human body, there's a lot of medical sphinctering going on. Yeah. Sphincter is not
no, wait just a
exclusively for the no-go hole. It's Hefty Lefty. Tell you what, at the draft party, why don't you hold a seminar? We'll carve out a time for you.
Okay, but
I kind of want to move on.
You have to be subscribed to Daily Blender today to go to Hefty Lefty's seminar. Damn, we're missing all these opportunities.
Did you have like lunch with Radio Ron or something?
I was just thinking, when we were
very business minded all of a sudden
during the break. If Disney can do it, why can't we?
Yeah, having an idea at the break is great, but maybe have a conversation with me.
Coming next summer, it's a Daily Blender theme park.
I'd like to see that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even going to say no to that.
Mm-hmm.
Waldo,
wait till you see the ride I've thought up for the fourth dimension.
Moist One has thought up many rides, and you don't want to know anything about them.
No.
Mm-mm.
Waldo says, Jeffrey, I'm no doctor, but I did stay at a Holiday Express last night, and I do believe tear ducts do count as holes. That's what I said, and mostly people agree with me.
See, then what are you doing with the air conditioning ducts? I see that to me.
Okay, let me explain this to you one last time.
It's a gray area.
Let's say you're building a house, and I'm looking right up at an air conditioning.
It's all enclosed.
When you build it, you have to carve a hole.
So you're not talking
about
holes. You're talking about openings.
The hole is connected to the duct, so the duct appears underneath that hole.
You're talking about openings.
I'm 100 million% right, and I'm not going to argue with you anymore.
You want to find out what the answer is? Just go to Daily Blender today and subscribe for $9 a month.
Why is the price going up?
Is it 10? It's at $10 a month.
Keeps going up like Disney. Moist One says, I thought the sphincter was in Egypt. Yeah, me too. Parlay J says, hey, did you guys see Johnny Football's documentary on Netflix?
No.
I don't think I'm gonna. It's just a sad thing because on one hand, we watched him be a complete douche nozzle for how long? And then you find out, he was suicidal there. Oh, yeah, he didn't watch any tape. He was self-destructive, blah, 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 blah. He's a con man. He's a this, he's a that. And I'm just like, you know what? I think there's been way too much of my life spent on even reading or seeing anything about Johnny Manziel.
Yeah, I can understand that, but he was diagnosed with bipolar depression and all that. So like that's part of the swing back and forth of his behavior and personality. And ultimately at this point, even though it's not the success story, it's kind of like a Ryan Leaf story with the guy that just couldn't get his act together while he had the chance to play football, but did get it together eventually. Because some of those stories end differently and worse. Where
how Johnny Manziel's trying to get his act together? He's opening a nightclub. How could that go wrong?
I thought it was just a bar.
A bar, nightclub, whatever. How is him with unlimited access to all that alcohol and girls and partying and situations. How could that possibly go wrong for him?
Want to find out more? Subscribe now to Daily Blender today for just $11 a month.
You got to stop, Randy. We don't have a subscription service.
Now
people are asking too many questions. Mr. Pink
working.
Eye wants to know, hey, can we share subscriptions, Randy?
No, it's forbidden.
That's biting into the bottom
You
line.
also can't share a subscription with the person who is
no
promoting
subscription sharing. No,
the site.
Randy's not going to share with you.
No.
Hamilton Porter says, what I've learned from the Johnny Manziel documentary is he now lives in Scottsdale. Oh, lucky us. Hey, listen, I'm sorry that you had some struggles in your mental health. Yeah, I get it. But that doesn't change the fact he's kind of an a-hole. You know what I mean? It doesn't change the fact that he really, no.
Guys, are we missing the point here, though?
What's the point?
I mean, if you think about this, you think about what's been released about Johnny Manziel. You got he was suicidal. He didn't watch any videotape. The GM is calling his agent. Hey, Johnny's iPad time is
0.00.
Who does that sound like to you? That just signed $250 million.
You want to know what's crazy?
Kyler Murray.
You know what else is crazy?
Heisman winner.
See what I'm saying?
You want to know what else? Same agent. It's Eric Burkhart. Just throwing that out there as a piece of information. I don't know what that means. I'm not saying that there's a correlation there. I'm just saying they got the same agent.
If you want to know our take, just subscribe to Daily Blender today for only $15 a month.
15. Yeah, it's getting ridiculous.
I mean, he's actually
outpacing.
Now we got to
Disney
get
in
bought
price
by
hikes.
somebody.
Well, listen, look, I'm a trendsetter.
You're a price setter. You're a price gouger.
No.
At the beginning of this segment, not but 10
Keon,
minutes
we're not
ago,
looking backwards. We're looking forwards. That's how we get to
the price was like $6 lower.
Well, you missed out on an opportunity to get in at $6, and now it's up to $15.
Moist one wants to know if Johnny can come to Dave & Buster's. We
No.
prefer he didn't. I mean, we have had some stuff happen at our Daily Blender events, but the cops being called has yet to be one of them.
Yeah, we don't need that kind of.
Like to keep that record going. Hefty Lefty says, I wonder if he's opening that new bar, where the Mint was in Old Town Scottsdale.
No, it's going to be in College Station, just up the road from where the Aggies play.
Oh, so it's not here.
No,
Wait a minute, he's going to Texas A&M to
Well, then he's not going to live here anymore.
open a bar.
Well, he doesn't have to run the day-to-day of it.
That's right. He has rich parents. I keep forgetting. It's like I figured that money he had ran out already.
And also he got a ton of money while he was in college. The whole signing football scandal that happened there. Yeah.
I this is going to sound really crass and very callous, but I don't care about Johnny Manziel's journey. I don't care, because the guy, he had a great background. He had parents that had all sorts of money. He had every opportunity. He won the Heisman. He went to a quality university. He didn't pay a cent. He was never held to any sort of accountability, apparently, because all the guy did was not follow the rules, and he got through on his talent, and it only took him so far. Then he ended up privileged in the NFL, got paid a lot of damn money, and then his life fell apart. Gee, nobody saw that coming.
Well, also the mental illness aspect of that, which,
Where's his parents at? Where are the people at that are supposed to be around him? Where are they at? Telling him, Johnny, you need to take your medicine. Johnny, we need to get you some help. You're not doing well here.
Reportedly, they were afraid.
Finding out somebody has mental illness doesn't absolve them of being a jerk.
No, I'm not saying that that's what it does. You're obviously responsible for your actions, but at the same time, it does explain your actions. And if you're prone to making bad decisions, it helps you make them more consistently or worse.
But it could be an explanation for some of it.
I have a son that's his age, and if my son had an issue with bipolarism, I would make sure that I was there supporting him and helping him in any way possible. And that means if there came to a physical altercation, I would still be there because I love him and I would want the best for him.
I have read some accounts of some people who've had it, and like there's I was reading this one guy that was just like, on the upswing of my bipolar, My brain was literally telling me I was God. Like, there's no way that doesn't affect your decision making when your brain is mistakenly telling you you are a deity. Like, that's just, you know, like, that's part
I'm
of
not
it.
saying the guy doesn't have mental illness.
No,
I'm just saying the guy had every opportunity given to him.
I dated bipolar.
Oh boy.
I just wanted somebody to feel sorry for me.
How many holes did you have?
All of them.
That's
Hefty Lefty. It says breaking news: the Pac-4 is in talks with CRC Broadcasting to sign a new media rights deal on their new Blender subscription service.
Yeah, Blender today. Yeah, I was going to tell you guys later.
Big George says I'd pay $25 a month for the Daily Blender Today service.
Sorry,
Well,
you missed that. It's up to $27 a month.
If you pay that much, you get free, for a short time only, membership to the Rock and Manooch fan club.
Does that come with swag?
Oh crap! The price just went down. It's now $17 a month. Oh, it's $14. It's $8. Oh, it's $6. Yeah, that
Out of business.
I should have never.
Just killed it.
See, that's why we need to have meetings, Randy. I just tanked our $1 billion business.
Was it ever $1 billion though?
I had a good idea, but
all I try to do is nothing but good for this program.
Parlay J says it's got to be the Browns organization at this point. They have an unreal track record of crazies. Do you think that the Browns might cause bipolar?
No, they are notoriously an organization who doesn't do all of their homework and research. And so players that other teams avoid, the Browns say yes.
Baker's Cocky Hen says Johnny Manziel is probably the biggest reason the NIL started, other than Ed O'Bannon. All the NCAA players should be grateful for him. His medicine is Coca-Cola. Parents bailing you out all the time doesn't seem to benefit anyone, does it? Yeah, that's a rich people problem, isn't it? Moist One wants to know if the membership comes with car washes at Toyota. No, the water there causes rust. Found out. Sorry. 888-368-1580. We're going to take a break. We come back since we sort of drifted into the college area. Let's talk about what the hell's going on at Northwestern. Still, it's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, CEO and founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare. In the process, started what's now called the timeshare cancellation industry. Timeshare is the only thing that you can buy that you can't tell me how much it's going to cost or when it's going to end. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check to fill out any amount they want for annual maintenance and assessment fees. The crazy thing is, this never ends. Even when you die, your family's now going to be stuck with this burden. Stop the insanity today. Call my office now. If we take you as a client, I guarantee we'll cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call for your free information kit. 800-462-3333. That's 800-462-3333. 800-462-3333.
Jim Gaffigan here with some more Straight Talk. Let's take a moment to appreciate our sweet children, loving grandparents, and eternal soulmates. Now let's use them to save money on wireless. Because with the Straight Talk Silver Plan, you get 4 lines for just $25 a month with unlimited data and no contracts. So add those human pawns, loved ones, and save money. Thanks, kids. You're finally worth it. Straight Talk Wireless, available at Walmart.
Get 4 lines on Silver Unlimited for $25 per line per month, plus taxes and fees. For data management practices and additional terms, visit straighttalk.com.
So what did the doctor say?
He said I might need surgery.
Wow, it's that serious.
Well, we won't know for sure until I talk with a surgeon, but I'm lost. This is all new to me.
The decision to have surgery isn't easy, but neither is living with pain.
There is an alternative to surgery.
At the Naturopathic Physicians Group in Scottsdale, our doctors are experts in full spectrum care using a natural approach and can restore pain-free joint function so you can avoid surgery. Patients come in for a variety of issues, including joint pain, chronic conditions, and issues specific to men's and women's health. We also help restore balance in immune, digestive, and hormone systems, which often improves both immediate physical symptoms and also improves cognition and emotional stability. So when traditional medicine suggests you need surgery, how about taking another approach? Call Naturopathic Physicians Group at 480-451-6161. That's 480-451-6161. Or go to naturopathicgroup.com.
Download the Fanatic app. News, scores, social media updates, and more on your smartphone, on your tablet. The free Fanatic app, available at the Google Play Store or the App Store and at 1580thefanatic.com.
It is the Daily Blender on this Wednesday, Hump Day. On 1580 and 99.3, the Fanatic, heading towards 6 o'clock tonight. And don't forget, women's soccer on the world stage. No better place to get in on the action than on FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. And we were talking last hour, guys, about who our teams might be. I'm seriously going to put some money on Japan. They are I think they're the goal leader in this whole tournament. And when I say goal leader, I mean they've scored the most goals in this tournament.
I think we could figure out what goal leader meant. Except for the people in Tempe.
Well, yeah. But we already know about them.
Why are we doing that? There's many nice people in Tempe. Why are we doing that?
Well, okay. You want me to rescind it?
No. No. It's all good fun.
Anyway, you can get some money back on your first bet if it loses. No sweat first bet up to $1,000 is what FanDuel says. If you're a new customer, up to $1,000 back. They call it your no sweat first bet. And all you have to do is sign up. Go to FanDuel.com/Randy1580 and join today. And you'll get up to $1,000 back in bonus bets if your first bet doesn't win. Don't miss your chance to get that no sweat first bet up to $1,000 when you join FanDuel today. Just go to FanDuel.com/Randy1580 and sign up today. You got to be 21 or older, present in Arizona. First online real money wager only, $10 deposit required. Refund issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire in 7 days. Restrictions apply. See full terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. Gambling problem, 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342, Jeff Cup.
Thank you, Randy. And Baker's Cocky Hens wants you to know he's got Spain to win the World Cup.
I didn't think about the Spanish.
Nobody expects the Spanish women's soccer inquisition. Okay. Swave Dave says, I dated a girl once who may have been bipolar. Turns out she was doing meth on the side without my knowledge. Wow. That hell of a story, Swave Dave.
That is a hell of a story.
Let's talk about another hell of a story. Northwestern, that football program. If you remember, Randy, where the Northwestern football program, some people came forward and said there was hazing and racist stuff going on with the program. And so there was an investigation. And first they're like, that's not true. Then they're like, holy God, that's true. And so they fired the coach. And what I don't understand is they fired the coach, but they kept the assistants. They kept a bunch of people.
Yeah.
And what could go wrong when the same people involved in the same culture are still hanging around? So here's what happens. They fire the coach, right? And then some other sports, softball, baseball, these other guys are getting in trouble for the hazing and the same sort of racial weirdness that was going on there.
Yeah.
So you're thinking, all right, they're cleaning house. They're getting rid of this coach. They're getting rid of that guy. They're taking care of things. And there's lawsuits now against the school we got to deal with. So we better get our act together.
Yeah.
And you think, okay, this is going to be a rebuilding, a rehealing, or whatever. So today, the Northwestern football program, they came out wearing some new shirts, some new T-shirts to usher in a new era of Northwestern football. And here's what they said: Cats Against the World. And the shirt had the number 51 on it. Okay, wait, Cats Against the World? I don't understand that. That makes it sound like you're defending yourself against something that's not true. And then the 51, look at that 51. Oh, the 51 is the number previously worn by former head coach Pat Fitzgerald. Coach came out with that shirt. Assistants came out with that shirt. Players came out with that shirt. They got to shut this crap down, man. They got to shut this down because evidently they're like, we miss when you could rub yourself up naked against some poor freshman. We miss being racist. That's not right. They took away our ability to do. Oh my God. It is so bad at Northwestern that they're coming out nostalgic for the coach who allowed it and engaged in it. He was part of it, part of singling out players who needed to get hazed, in his opinion. And then the racial misconduct. They got to shut this program down. They the school is like, well, we're very disappointed in these T-shirts and this whole thing. You got to close down the entire sports, everything at Northwestern for like a year and get this thing straight. Fire everybody, bring in new people, and it's more than tone deaf. I think
it's beyond tone deaf. And this is, I recall on the exact day that this happened, and we talked about it. They promoted the defensive coordinator to be the head coach. And we said that's a bad idea. Like right off the bat, you can tell that's a bad idea. Why? Because the stuff is systemic and it starts at the top and goes down. So why continue with him as the head coach and then act incredibly shocked when, he continued basically, or wants to continue, or is at least defending the legacy of what Pat Fitzgerald left behind. When you look at the Baylor situation with Art Briles and how all of his players were incredibly rapey to the point of making students on that campus uncomfortable. When Baylor finally decided to move their ass and act, they fired Art Briles and they brought in someone else entirely. Just hired Jim Grobe out of retirement. And Jim Grobe he's got a career losing record as a head coach, in college football. But what he was known for being a disciplinarian and a good person. And they brought that guy in, and he was only there a year, but he was there to make sure that they didn't slide back into any of their nonsense that they were doing before. That is the obvious thing to do. And so the athletic director at Northwestern can be disappointed all he wants to, but he basically didn't change anything.
No.
Yeah, it sounds like to me, not only do they need to eliminate all of the coaching staff, which are probably loyal to this Pat Fitzgerald guy, but they need to also go through some of their student ranks, and because some of the students were saying, well, these are just reminders of us to stick together and be one and be close and be tight.
Are these all future policemen?
Boy, I hope not. I mean, it would be bad, but it is in the Chicago area. So,
that's not great. You mean notoriously some of the worst police? Great.
I think, you're not far off. I don't believe, Jeffrey, that maybe they do need to shut down. They need to suspend all sports activities for a season. But how does that affect some of the students that are not, wrapped up in this?
Well, transfer portal is now open. You do what you got to do. And
it's kind of late in the season.
Sorry. Here's the thing you always say. You're saying they're there and they're getting an education. You give them another year of eligibility and tell them, this year you're focusing on your schoolwork. Next year, you still have 3 years of eligibility or however many they have left. I don't have all the solutions here, but I do know this program needs to be shut the bleep down.
And competing for a great record, competing for a bowl game, that is a privilege. And unfortunately, people who had the ability to affect that screwed that up for everybody. Yeah. So I feel really bad for the students who weren't necessarily wrapped up in this. And I wouldn't stop the program, but literally go grab a guy that is going to start changing the culture now. Don't promote anybody. And, this Braun, he can go too. He can take a hike because clearly as the head coach, his decision-making is just as bad.
Yeah, that's the nice thing about the fact that there's a whole world watching pretty much everything now. So, this did not get brushed under the rug, and neither should it be. So, hopefully, the AD there is going to shake the old Etch-a-Sketch at the very least with personnel. I say shut it down, but if you don't shut it down, Keon's 1,000,000% right. One way or the other, you need a whole new staff of coaches in there. You need a whole new system. Even, you've got, I think Fitzgerald's kid is on the team. He's still on the team. I mean, it's not like the sins of your father, but you know what I'm saying? Hey, that culture is still, the sickness is all still there, and they miss their sickness. And that's a sick look. It just shows you that they're not learning the right lessons over there at Northwestern. Not even close.
Yeah, and some of the students that did talk about some of the racial weirdness, they said like when you're not in that in group, you feel like an outsider in a cult. That's what one guy described it as. And so like, yeah, when it comes to that stuff, you just rip the Band-Aid off. You're not going to get the mentality away just from firing the head coach and thinking that that's going to fix everything. Because it wasn't just Pat Fitzgerald. Once he set up the whole culture, everybody else is following it. Everybody else was enforcing it, even when he wasn't doing anything.
Yeah.
So that's what's going to continue to happen, even when he's not there.
So you're at the very least tone deafness at Northwestern, and then you think, well, okay, that's just them. Well, then you look at the NCAA themselves, and I don't understand this. I don't know what their reasoning is to deny a waiver for UNC wide receiver Devontae Walker. He transferred to be near his ailing grandmother, and he asked for a transfer, and they're like, no. We figured out what the hang up is here, Keon.
Yeah, I think that is that he's transferred before. And so you only get the one free transfer. Everything else is,
well, then they need to look at this case by case, because
that's what it's
a
supposed
transfer, because, I'd like to get in the transfer portal, go to another school. I think it'll better suit me. That's the one thing. But saying, oh my God, my grandma's sick now, and I kind of want to be near her, so I'm going to go over there to be near her. It's not the same as a career move. This is a family move. And I think that somebody at the NCAA needs to say, okay, we have the letter of the law, but there's also the spirit of the law. And the spirit of what the NCAA rules dictate about how many times you can transfer, it doesn't apply to the sick grandmother.
No. And that's the thing. Like, I don't know why they're not taking it on a case by case basis, except that the NCAA is incredibly lazy. Like they're the worst governing body in sports. Like we can, laugh at old Commissioner Drunky Drunk and Roger Goodell and all of the stuff that he does, that he'll bend over backwards to please the owners, even if just optically it doesn't even make any sense. But when it comes to the NCAA, they lay down the law when it doesn't make any sense to. And then when they need to lay down the law, you can't find them. And that's because it requires them to make hard decisions, and they don't want to do that.
Well, I mean, it's frustrating, and people wonder why we kind of like the idea of the NCAA dissolving. Because of the mess that they seem to make on just about everything, and the inconsistencies and the, don't even get me started on football playoffs. Don't get me started on March Madness, and don't get me started on the way they acted about the NIL. You name it, at every turn, the NCAA just always seems to step the wrong direction.
Repeatedly. It's the only consistent thing about the NCAA is how consistently they're wrong.
The NFLPA, you remember how they do the NFLPA Collegiate Bowl? Well, they're not doing that anymore.
Oh,
they have shut that down. They said, after much deliberation, we've decided to bring our game to a close and take the Collegiate Bowl experience in another direction that better aligns with our goals. I guess, which is not doing it. They've been doing this thing for 12 years. And I don't know what's going on with the NFLPA, by the way. It doesn't seem like they're
they've got
much.
They've got a leadership change going on, basically, and so they're being run differently lately than they have in the past. I'm not particularly encouraged by some of the decisions that they've made.
Where people are like, media people are like, hey, can we get some information? Can we get an interview? Can we get anything? And they're like, no. They're not talking to anybody. And so they've shut things down. They're not doing anything. They release a press release saying, hey, the Collegiate Bowl, we're not going to do that. Oh, okay. Well, that's the most we've heard. That is the most we've heard from the NFLPA since Howell shows up. And so that makes me worried. Makes me a little bit worried for some of these players. The NFLPA, if there's a change in culture, just a seismic shift, dear God.
Yeah, and look, it's we keep talking about these running backs and what's got to change for them. They're the ones I'm worried about the most, because if this is your union, they don't talk to anybody, they don't publicize anything. Like part of being a union, quite frankly, is getting the sympathy of the people, of the fans, which are only going to know what you're doing and thinking if you talk to the media.
Not answering the phones ain't helping.
Nope.
Hefty Lefty says, when you're mentioned in the same breath in the terms of competence and corruption as FIFA and the IOC, yeah, the NCAA should realize that they are garbage.
Worst governing body in American sports. Easily.
Oh, I'm sure somebody's going to say, hold my beer, but you might be right. All right, we got to take a break. That is 2 hours down and 1 to go. Got some football coming up. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
When you have trouble sleeping, it's tough. When kids have trouble sleeping,
Mom, I can't sleep. Dad, just one more story?
for nights like this, try Vicks Pure Z's Kids. Our great tasting gummies are specially formulated for kids with a unique blend of botanicals and a low dose of melatonin to support their natural sleep cycle. Best of all, they're drug-free and non-habit forming. Help your child fall asleep naturally with Pure Z's Kids Gummies. Consult with a doctor before use. For ages 4 and up.
If you're an agent or broker in group benefits, get ready to learn about an exciting and innovative new program to offer your clients. Eternal Benefit is now offering the first pre-planning program that's available as a payroll deduction and allows benefits for the entire family. Our pre-planning program can include coverage for yourself, your spouse, plus your immediate family, including parents, children, grandparents, and even aunts, uncles, and cousins. Looking for a great reason to contact your clients? This is it. No more meetings where you have nothing new to offer. Eternal Benefit plans lock in and provide for funeral and burial expenses regardless of price increases. Employees can now take care of their family member without pressure. Choose from hundreds of funeral homes and cemeteries. Plans are completely transferable, even if your clients move to another state. The program pays some of the highest commissions in the group benefits area. Find out more. Go to eternalbenefit.com. That's eternalbenefit.com or call 602-315-2574. Eternalbenefit.com. That's eternalbenefit.com or call 602-315-2574.
You ready for a crazy time? Well, we're going back to Dave & Buster's at the Tempe Marketplace for our Daily Blender Fantasy Football Draft Party Friday, August 25th. We're going to broadcast the Daily Blender live from 3 to 6 p.m. And then at 7 p.m., all the Blender leagues are going to draft together. It's always nuts and a ton of fun. You don't even have to be in one of our leagues to come and hang out. Join the Daily Blender at Dave & Buster's at the Tempe Marketplace, 3 p.m. till we're done partying. Friday, August 25th, here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Greg Clark Automotive trained certified technicians located on the southwest corner of Bethany Home and 19th Avenue, servicing Valley automobiles 44 summers now, offering our summer cooling system inspection diagnosis on the belts, water pump, radiator, and hoses. Every air conditioning service includes a dye injection to find leaks. Contact us today at 602-246-2881. And online at gregclarkautomotive.com. Mention 1580 and get 10% off of labor.
Eating, working, living pain-free. These are a few of the things many of us take for granted. Yet for many United States military veterans, finding and affording oral health care is a challenge many of us don't think about. Dental Lifeline Network is looking for dentists who can change this. DLN is asking dentists and their teams to volunteer to see one veteran with special needs one time per year. Visit willyouseeonevet.org to learn more. That's willyouseeonevet.org.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM. And K24EU Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM. It's time for the third
hour. All right, people, settle down.
because it's time.
For what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 5 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580. As we broadcast live in the Harman Solar Studios in Scottsdale, I had to go downstairs, and I had to take a shoe away from the new puppy. Bebo had a little Sketcher, and we was going to town on that thing.
Oh, boy.
It wasn't my Sketcher. It's a little girl's Sketcher. Little girl ain't going to take kindly to that. Is a brand new school shoe. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah. It's the first week of school. So your ass is grass when she gets back. That's all I got to say. Yeah. He's trying to get up here.
Did he tear it up pretty good?
There we go.
There he is.
He wanted up here. So now he's up here. Oh,
Did he tear it up pretty good?
No, I had an instinct, and I think there was no damage to it. Just very, very wet. And so Buddy is telling him off right now. He's like, hey, you don't do these kind of things around here.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, I'm out of breath. That was the whole point. A little bit out of breath.
Let me cover it for you. Welcome to the fourth dimension.
Well, I already said all that stuff. I already said all that stuff.
Oh, never mind then.
Yeah. I said, well, I didn't say the
trying to
did I say the broadcasting live in the Harman Solar Studios in Scottsdale Park?
I don't know. I was just gonna start from one point and just move on. Cover.
No, I know. I didn't. I'm out of breath, but I'm not.
Texting in at 888-368-1580.
Yeah. Yeah, I may need to step away for a second. You know what I want to do? I want to get on my phone the Star Trek music for when they fight from the original series, so I can just play it loudly every time that they start to wrestle.
I see.
Because it is damn entertaining. These guys fight constantly in a good way. You know, they're friends. You can tell they're gonna be friends. But it's like watching wrestling practice all damn day long around here. Yeah, I honestly don't know who's gonna win. I never know. Rough Rob says, hey, I'm setting them ready to go. When's the draft?
It's good you asked.
August 25th at 7 p.m. Rough Rob. That is when the draft is going to happen over at Dave and Buster's at the Tempe Marketplace. So, by the way, I don't even know which league are you in. And by the way, if you want to be in a league, you can send me an email, blender@1580thefanatic.com. We are opening up another league. So that's cool right there. And by the way, when we go over to Dave and Buster's on August 25th, we're going to have raffles. You could win a grill. Propane grill. It's a little portable thing. You can take camping. You can take tailgating. It's really sweet. We got some tickets for ASU football games, and we're going to have a bunch of other stuff to give away too. So yeah, we're really looking forward to this. Friday, August 25th. Lost Toby says League 10 is the best league. Is it? Yeah, well, I mean, it might be now. Because we cleared out some dead weight from that league and put in some new people. So yeah, it might be pretty good. Rough Rob says, I'm in leagues 11 and 4. Rough Rob, you can't be in 2 leagues. Rough Rob, you can only be in 1 league. If you're in 2 leagues, you have to choose one and get out of the other. I thought we always made this pretty clear.
Rough Rob, what are you doing?
Yeah, Rough Rob, you're going to have to leave one of those 2 leagues. We do not allow it because there is a $100 prize when you win a league, and it's not fair to anybody else if you're in 2 leagues when they're only in 1. So
thank you make the choice, or we'll make the choice for you.
Thank you for bringing that to my attention. Penisher says, "Let's go League 10." Moislin says, "Premier League draft Saturday, right?" It's looking that way, yes. And it'll probably be like 11 a.m. on Saturday or noon or something. Don't know yet. We're going to try to work it. Rough Rob says, take me out of League 11 then. Well, I need to know your team name, Rough Rob. And thank you for your honesty. I do appreciate that. No, we can't be in 2, Lost Toby. He says, but what if we're bipolar? Well, see, that's not the same as having split personality. Bipolar means sometimes you're happy, sometimes you're sad, and usually it's with force. But when it comes to if you have dual personality, I might consider it.
But if you have split personalities, you would know.
Yeah, and I need a note from your doctor. Baker's Cocky Hen says, my daughter has this little robotic toy ball, that spins around all crazy and yells, Bebo on the move. Seriously? What it
says Bebo?
Bebo? Well, that's the name of the puppy. Although my wife is like, he kind of looks like a Scooby. And I'm thinking she might sort of slide towards changing it. But she says no, she's going to stick with the Bebo. He doesn't know his name yet, so now's the time to do it. But what does Bebo on the move mean? Is there like a cartoon or something that has something called a Bebo? I guess we should have looked this up because it could have been something horrific. You know what I mean? Like Bebo was Hitler's dog's name or something. And you're like,
I don't think so.
God.
No, I don't think so.
I never did Google it. I better Google it. See, now I better Google it because I don't want to have Hitler's dog's name on my dog. So Bebo is from the Arrowverse. The fictional character was depicted as a lovable, huggable, docile creature asking for cuddles, love, food, and drink. Wow, that sounds amazing. And it's the cutest little cartoon here. But Arrowverse, isn't that supposed to be like with the Flash and everything?
That's Spider-Man and the Arrowverse.
Well, no, it's the Green Arrow. It's the TV show. Well, the TV show based on the comic, but then there are a bunch of other characters they like made up for the show that wound up being pretty likable and whatnot.
Ow! Sorry, the dog just bit me. Also, you better calm your crap down, dog.
Hitler's dog named Blondie.
Oh, cool. That was close. That was close.
Blondi. Just for anybody out there,
Hitler could never spell for crap.
Just avoid that there.
One way or another. There were jokes, but I'm stopping myself. 888-368-1580. Jagdog, how did you know that immediately without even looking that up? That Hitler's dog was named Blondie. And he had the spelling correct.
Huh. He could just be watching a lot of the History Channel.
Lost Toby was right on it too. Blondie, but he spelled it wrong. So he's all right.
The History Channel is specializing in documentaries with obscure facts about Hitler. And I don't understand why they do this.
Mr. Pink Eye says, do you mean Debo from Friday? Spelled the same, but with a B. Bebo. Fish Tank says, why did you name him Bebo? Not throwing shade. I just don't know what that's from. Well, I had said that we were just joking about this random things to name a dog after. I said, you should name him after a bibliography. And she's like, Bebo. I'm like, I don't think Bebo is short for bibliography.
It is now.
And but that doesn't matter in my wife's world. So Bebo it is. And that's what she likes. And so that's what we named the dog. So Moistman says, this Bebo? I have no idea what that is a picture of. I have no idea what that is. And I should have known better to look at his text. Randy's Chuckle says, Jeffrey, why didn't you tell us Dinnertainment was coming to the West Side? I just passed one on the 101 in Northern. Randy Chuckle, we did tell you that. We had the owner of Kasai, Michael, on, and he told us that. Yeah. And there's one coming to the East Valley in the not too distant future. Michael Ursello is a very busy man, and he's driving around trying to find new places to put some Dinnertainment near you. So yes, they are opening one up in the West Side in September, and you're sure to hear more about it here on this radio station when that happens. So hang in there and be ready. It just has some damn good food. Hefty Lefty says, hey, who do you got on Friday night, Randy? I think Cardinals lose in the first half, but win the game by over 3 points.
Are we talking about a preseason game here?
I think he's talking about a preseason game.
I really don't care. I just hope the Cardinals get out of this without any sort of injuries. And just keep Colt McCoy and Greg Dortch and those guys on the sideline. Let the kids go out there and try to make the team.
You sound like everybody's mom when we were in Pop Warner, Randy. As long as the kids have fun and nobody gets hurt, I'm happy. Yay. They're so bad at football, honey.
Oh, okay. So your Colts are going to go with the starters?
You shut up, Randy.
That's what I thought.
I don't even know what kind of year I'm going to have. I have no idea.
Know what I'm going to have?
You have
championship season.
In a couple years, maybe.
Championship season.
If the contest is delusion, yes. 888-368-1580. Slave Dave says, I would not try to have a team in 2 different leagues, but thanks, Jeffrey, for letting me have 2 teams in the Premier League. He says, just kidding. Yeah. Lost Toby says, is it too late to listen for the reindeer name? Yeah, that was like a month ago.
No, just keep listening.
And keep listening for your chance to win. 888-368-1580. I do want to take a moment here and play a little game called, who is in more danger? Can we do that?
Who is in more danger?
All right. So there's a series of things that have happened, and I want to really get you right. Who do you think was in more danger? Okay. So hold your.
Who was in more danger?
No, I don't want this. No, that's sad music. Not everything was sad. Some of it was funny. So in Westland, Michigan, I guess they were having a fire department Blue Brews and Barbecue event, right? And so there's all these firefighters, and the kids were there, and there were hot dogs and balloons and all sorts of fun. And they had the department's arson dog, Bella, was sitting on a golf cart, and everybody's like, this is such a great day. Such a great day. And so Bella was sitting there behind the wheel of the golf cart, and one of the firemen were sitting in the passenger seat, and everybody's like, oh, that's a cute picture right there. Look, it looks like the dog is driving the cart. Everybody's like, oh. And then all of a sudden, the dog sort of slipped down off the seat and hit the gas and was driving the cart and ran over a 4-year-old girl.
Oh, no.
Now, don't get weird.
I mean,
the 4-year-old girl was unharmed. She was shaken up, and like 10 minutes later, she was in the bouncy house. Okay, she was fine, but everybody was like, "Ah!" Who was in more danger? So that happened in Michigan. The dog about killed this kid. So then, here's another one. Who's in more danger? Remember, and hold your thoughts until the end. So there's one guy is like out in Denver, Colorado. That's where my people are from. And he's just hanging out. He's like, you know what? The Colorado parks are just beautiful here. Oh, this is so nice near Denver. Oh, this is nice. Summer in Colorado. What could be better? I'm gonna get myself into a nice hammock. So he gets in his hammock, and he's at that little unstable moment. It's always kind of funny. You're like, and you get in the hammock, and you're like, aha! You feel like you've accomplished something because you're now in the hammock and you haven't fallen out, and you feel this is good. And so he's like, it's nice. And he stayed out there for a while. The sun was out, but it wasn't too hot for him. The trees were providing some shade. It was nice. And, started to get a little more dusky. He's thinking, I could go in right now, but this is so nice. I'm just going to stay here. And then, what's that big brown thing? And he got bit by a bear. He got attacked by a bear. The bear just comes right up to him and is like, and bit him right on the arm. Took a chunk out of his arm. And he's like, he fights off the bear, and he runs back to the hotel screaming. And so, luckily for him, just big old chunk out of his arm. Okay.
Luckily for him.
Yeah. No, he's alive.
Because he got away.
Lucky for him. Yeah.
So now here's another lady. She's out there at Rockaway Beach. Rockaway Beach. And she's having a nice time. Oh, she's 65-year-old lady. And she's this is nice water here. This is nice. Rockaway Beach, if I'm not mistaken, is near Queens, Jamaica, and out in New York. And so she's hanging out there. She's feeling good. And she's like, I did work out a bit to get into this bathing suit. I'm 65, and it took a little more working out to get into this bathing suit. But I got my weight down, and I guess I didn't need to because the shark that bit me took 20 of my pounds. She got bit by a shark, took a giant chunk out of her leg, and 20 pounds of flesh.
No kidding.
And it was definitely a shark bite. Yeah, it was,
you sure it wasn't a bear? Wasn't the same bear that's gone rogue?
The bear's underneath.
Shh, don't tell him. They're going to blame the sharks.
So absolutely, if she's alive, she's fine. She's like, wow, let's just lost 20 pounds. That's pretty good. And so now here's another one. This man is like, hey, honey, let me just tell you something. Surprise. I have you tickets to go see Taylor Swift in concert at Levi's Stadium.
That's the winner right there. That's
on
it right
Saturday.
There. Yeah.
Well, have it, you got, we just pulled.
That's the winner right there.
You don't know. So they get there on Saturday, and he's like, we're coming in. And they're like, you would have been coming in if you'd come on the right day. It was this concert's yesterday. He got the date wrong.
Oh, no.
And he looked over at his wife, and his wife, you know, that thing where the red just goes from the neck to start going right up the face, up to the forehead, and just about ready to blast off. And he's like,
yeah, I could feel it. Yeah.
In his head. See, Keon doesn't understand this, having not been married, but the rest of us are like doing the same thing. He's calculating in his head right now how much money he has on a credit card, because he's going to have to buy another $2,600 in tickets, or else he's a dead man. Lucky for him, the card went through. Oh. And he was able to get her in there for $2,600 damn dollars to see Taylor Swift.
$2,600.
Well, but Randy, it was for 2 tickets. So
that's real love right there.
Who was in the most danger here? Was it the little girl that got ran over by the golf cart? Was it the guy in the hammock who got attacked by a bear? Was it the lady who lost 20 pounds of meat when she got bit by a shark? Or was it this guy who, got the date wrong on the Taylor Swift concert?
That's the guy right there.
Keon?
I'm going with shark.
You were incorrect.
Lady attacked by a shark.
No, it's the husband.
I know.
It's definitely the husband. You don't know because you've never been married. If you've never been married, then I'd say bear. I'd say bear.
That guy made an honest mistake. And I suppose that my problem, and maybe the reason why I myself am not married right now, is I don't know if I would marry somebody who would absolutely kill me over an honest mistake.
Well,
he's never been married.
Yeah, no.
I mean, I may never get married.
Yeah.
Between you and Ralph, you're not exactly making it sound good.
Well, we're not married.
And by the way,
no,
I agree with you.
Your respective marriage.
Second place would be the bear, because bears will eat anything.
The bear is more realistic. The bear didn't have to stop attacking the guy in the hammock.
Right.
The shark, when they generally take a bite out of you, they don't enjoy the taste of human. And so unless you're out there in the middle of the water getting torn up by a shark that's trying to fight with you, this lady got chomped and then the shark left.
But the thing is, you said it took out a 20 pounds of person.
It was a hell of a bite
from the leg.
Yeah.
Well, you've got an artery there that if that shark bites the wrong spot, you're dead. It doesn't matter how many chomps. One chomp
I'm not
is
saying
enough.
He couldn't kill her, but the bear guy was more in danger of the bear coming back and finishing the job. She got lucky.
Bear should have chased him.
I'm just saying,
was kind of lazy on that.
That's what I'm saying. And
what
bears
happened
generally,
was he probably stood up, and the bear was like, "Oh, wait a minute, yeah."
Because I mean, it also depends on the bear. I know I was in Tennessee. Like black bears are cowards. So if a black bear bites you and you scream, the black bear's gone.
I think a DC bear is a little different than a Denver bear.
Well, if it's a grizzly bear, you have no chance.
If it's a grizzly, you are dead.
But if this is a black bear or brown bear, perhaps you have a chance.
Yeah, and where shark is like, she just got lucky based on location of that bite. The shark bites the wrong part of leg for her. She bleeds out in the ocean. We never hear her story.
Lost Toby says, I'm surprised you didn't have the snack vendor who got gored by a bull during the running of the bulls. Horn made a hole in his chest. There's video of his heart just pumping, and you can see it through the hole.
Well, I will never watch that video.
Wait, did he live? Because if he died, then this isn't about who died.
Who was in enough danger.
So worst thing I ever saw was a guy that was messing around with bulls, probably at this running of the bulls thing. And the bull charged him, and he was teasing the bull, and it gored him between the legs.
Oh, see, that's karma.
And then they showed the hospital pictures.
Oh!
Worst thing I ever saw. I did not want to see the hospital. I didn't.
You never do. You never go looking for it.
And oh my God.
So Lost Toby says that the guy, the snack vendor at the running of the bulls, by the way, if you're a snack vendor at the running of the bulls,
find a new
are
occupation.
You running along trying to sell guys who are running snacks?
Got your hamburgers here. Hey, got your hamburgers here.
So here's the deal. I
Full
still
one of
say the Taylor Swift tickets guy is probably the one who's still in the most danger, even hearing about that story.
Oh,
but you know, if it's not that guy,
his exposed heart.
yeah, no, trust me. Don't screw with a Swiftie.
No, he's lucky to be alive.
Swifties are nothing to toy with, man.
Nothing. No.
Yeah, Rough Rob says, don't do it, Keon. Don't do it.
Get married? Probably not going to happen.
I think he meant don't mess with the Swifties, but probably that too. Yeah. Randy's chuckle says, Denver guy was more in danger. Bear was probably on shrooms. Thought the green hammock was a big joint. He escaped before the hammock was lit on fire. Hefty Lefty says, none of these stories sound as bad as the multiple Richard ticks. Oh, yeah.
No, that's true. That's still.
He wasn't in any real danger.
Yeah, not in any danger, but that one's worse. I'd rather get bitten by a shark.
Pink Eye says, will there be Kasai food for the draft party at Dave and Buster's? No. Yeah, I don't think Dave and Buster's would appreciate us bringing food from another restaurant when they're selling and having really great food of their own. Moist One says, that poor cart got hit by a 4-year-old.
Look, we all know 4-year-olds are indestructible.
Yeah, but the cart's not. Bruno Baller says, if it's Yogi Bear, you're fine. As long as you don't have a picnic basket. My mouth stopped working. Picnic basket. Navy Brad says, would you have a chance against Yogi or Boo Boo? Oh, you'd have a chance against Boo Boo.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think about
Yogi and Yogi.
Yeah, Yogi, forget that.
You could NFL punt Boo Boo.
Lost Toby says he saw that video with the snack vendor, and he also thinks what the husband ran into at the Taylor Swift tickets was more dangerous. So I think we've solved this mystery, Scooby. So it's time now to move on. Hey, Berg. Berg is on the text line. He says, afternoon, gentlemen. He says, stories? We all have stories. Don't mess with the 4-year-olds. We know that. We know that. She lived. She bounced up. She got in the bouncy house. Everything was fine. She's not a wife who's also a Swiftie. Come on, man. Yeah. It's a Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
This is Brett Musburger's action update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. The best way to start betting smarter is to sign up for a free VSiN subscription at vsin.com/subscribe. That's vsin.com/subscribe.
The PGA Tour will be heading to Memphis, Tennessee Thursday to begin the FedEx St. Jude Championship. It's played at the TPC Southwind. Will Zalatoris won the tournament last year. However, he has been out with an injury for the 2023 season. Scotty Scheffler is the betting favorite to win the tournament. He's at plus 600, while Rory McIlroy and John Rahm are both plus 850. Patrick Cantlay plus 1,600 to win in Memphis. Xander Schauffele plus 1,800. And Victor Hovland is at plus 2,000. The tournament will run through Sunday. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
You don't plan for a computer virus. You don't plan to lose files. You don't plan to knock your laptop off the counter. And you don't plan for your PC to crash or your screen to freeze. But Staples has a plan. A plan for unlimited virus protection. A plan for help when you need it 24/7. Staples Total Support Plans are your tech plans for the unplanned, starting as low as $199.99. And although you didn't plan for this, right now at Staples, you can also get $250 off select computers. N729 in-store only. See associate for details.
Cowboy boots are more than functional. They're works of art. At Boot Barn, we see a cowboy boot not only as a symbol of the West, but also as a unique masterpiece. Corral designs their boots with artistry in mind. From striking laser-cut inlays to Western embroidery, their handcrafted boots are dedicated to artistic craftsmanship for cowboy boots made to be worn and collected. Corral boots at Boot Barn.
Doug. With Liberty Mutual, you can customize your car insurance to save hundreds. Here's what those savings sound like in dollar bills. Here's what it sounds like in quarters. And here's what that sounds like in cryptocurrency. A thing I totally understand. 1010. I am money. Cha-ching. Beep boop $.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com. Savings may vary. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
For the latest from the world of golf, tune in every Saturday morning from 6 to 8 for the Golf Shop Radio Show, presented by PlayGolfMyrtleBeach.com, the golf capital of the world. Hosts Mark Greenhelch and Matt Blanchard talk golf from tee to green and everything in between. If you like golf, you're going to love Golf Shop Radio. Before you tee up, drop on in. Welcome to the Golf Shop here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Greg Clark Automotive trained certified technicians located on the southwest corner of Bethany Home and 19th Avenue, servicing Valley automobiles 44 summers now, offering our summer cooling system inspection diagnosis on the belts, water pump, radiator, and hoses. Every air conditioning service includes a dye injection to find leaks. Contact us today at 602-246-2881. And online at gregclarkautomotive.com. Mention 1580 and get 10% off of labor.
It's the sound of the fight song, the excitement of the rivalry.
Auburn has won the Iron Bowl!
It's the unbelievable upsets. It's the Heisman hopefuls.
Oh my God! Davis is going to run it all the way back!
It's the national rankings. It's college football.
The Sooners right down the field.
Tune in each Saturday for the college football game of the week. Listen for all the action, drama, and excitement on your home for college football. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Hey, Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. You know, there's like a Zillow for NFL teams.
A Zillow?
Yeah. For comps.
I didn't know that.
How much your team is worth. Yeah, you go in Zillow and you can check out, what's the estimated value of the house or something.
Really?
And you zoom in on it. You're like, oh, okay. And you can see if the value's gone up or down. But they got that for NFL teams, and the valuation rankings for 2023 are out. And I know what your teams are worth. So who do you think on the show has the team worth the most money? Is it me with my Colts? Is it Keon with his Washington Commandos? Or is it Randy with his Arizona Cardinals?
Well, I'm going to go. My vote's for Keon because they just sold for. In my opinion, they overpaid, but it was $6 billion.
Mm-hmm. Well, okay. So, what do you say, Keon?
I would say the Commanders. They've been valued at like in the top, 8 or 9 usually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's always some house that sells in a neighborhood that jacks it for everybody else, either one way or the other. They sell too low, and now everybody's property values just went down, or they sell too high, and then you're like, well, does that help me? And do you have a pool? No, you don't have a pool. Oh, but the Washington Commandos are, as far as our show goes, the highest valued team at $6.05 billion. Wait a second, how much did you guys sell that thing for?
$6.05 billion.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah, I mean,
was there a down payment?
No.
Okay. Well, they that
Straight
actually is an increase of 27% over last year. So the value of your team, they sold for 27% more than they had been valued at in 2022. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I mean, it's a shame the money goes to complete jerk.
Yeah, to potentially one of the worst human beings, but.
Well, but there was other people part of that ownership group that were not as bad.
Yeah, but Dan Snyder's going to get most of it, and he bought out most of the ownership group before selling the team.
I wonder if he made money on that deal. Don't want to know. Just let it go. Let it go. Let's not care about Dan Snyder anymore. So, all right. So, of the two teams left, the Colts and the Cardinals, Keon, who do you think is worth more?
I would say the Colts.
Randy?
Colts.
It's close. It is actually pretty close, but you're right. The Colts are $4.21 billion, and the Cardinals are $4.17 billion. Of course, we're on the wrong end of things. The Cardinals are ranked 27th. The Colts are ranked 24th. Do you know, without looking, who the least valued team in the NFL is?
Jacksonville.
Not Jacksonville, but close. They were second to worst at $4.04 billion. So it's all still pretty close.
Yeah, boy, I'd say the Titans.
Titans are actually worth more than the Colts. They're
Oh.
at 21 with 4.37 billion. You're going to be surprised. Cincinnati Bengals,
Oh, actually,
$4 billion. They've recently been
Really?
to a Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
that's
but
not
get
how
this.
these valuations go. It's like a
The-
long term.
But the valuation has gone up 41% over last year.
Yeah.
So, that recent trip to the Super Bowl has not hurt.
Yeah, well, they finally actually got a sponsor on their building recently, which is something they could not do before. Like nobody wanted their name on the Bengals stadium.
Where are the Browns on this?
Just didn't want it.
Browns are not worth as much as the Colts, but slightly more than the Cardinals. They have 4.2 billion. So basically, the bottom of the barrel is 4 billion. The top, yes, Navy Brad, is the Cowboys at $9.2 billion. So I don't know.
See, and I have to understand why. Why are the Cowboys? Seems like
That
the Patriots would be the number one team.
It's the fan base.
Yeah, they make money.
The amount of Super Bowls don't matter. If people spend money on your product, your team's going to be valued at a lot.
Again, I would say it would be the Patriots. I mean, everywhere I look, it's Patriots stuff.
They're number 4. They are ranked 4th at 6.7 billion.
Army brat growing up, and I've lived in a lot of places. Dallas is everywhere. It's everywhere. I mean, you just can't move somewhere that doesn't have Cowboy stuff. Even after the Patriots got good, you still can't move anywhere that doesn't have Cowboy stuff.
You can call him crazy if you want to, but
he knows how to make money.
Jerry has made a ton of money on the Cowboys,
and that is why it's worth 9.2 billion. The Giants, New York Giants, were 7.04 billion. The Rams are third place, 6.94 billion. Then the Patriots, then the 49ers after that was 6.15 billion. Then the Jets are 6.11 billion. But if Aaron Rodgers does a thing, they might move up that list a little bit. So it's all pretty tight together. There's half the league is between 4 and 5 billion, maybe a little more than half. And then after that, it starts to go up. There's nobody in Jerry Jones's league. I mean, he's $2 billion ahead of the Giants. And then the Giants and the Rams and the Patriots and the 49ers, they're like 2 billion ahead of everybody else. So, there's tiers. There's definitely tiers to this thing.
Where are the Lions in this list?
I would think top 15, right?
No.
4.1
billion. They're down at number 30.
Really?
They've sucked for so long.
And where's Chicago? Where are the Bears on this list?
Because there are some teams that are going to be up there just because
8th place.
Yeah, the city
really? 6 billion.
The city is huge. Like the Rams could stink forever, and they're always going to be in the top 5, in my opinion, because LA is just gigantic. The Giants could stink forever, and they're not going anywhere because New York is huge. Washington has sucked forever, and they've always been near the top because DC is a giant city.
Tuck says, Keon saying no one wanted to sponsor the Bengals stadium until now. That is not even close to the truth. The owner refused to sell the rights until recently. Come on now.
Okay, well, I stand corrected. I just know what I read.
It's also not true. You're sitting. You are sitting corrected.
It's a figure of speech.
Well, yeah.
I metaphorically stand corrected.
So you're just going to pinch pennies on this, Keon?
Oh, absolutely.
Is that the way it's going to be?
You better believe it.
Because technically you're sitting right now.
That's why I corrected. I am metaphorically.
No,
broadcasting.
No, if I'm
not
talking metaphorically, you're not standing. No,
he's not even analytically standing.
I am not literally standing, or metaphorically standing.
Even in a parallel universe, you're sitting.
Are you working the console over there at the Harmon Solar Studios? Yes. So you would have to be
literally sitting,
but
not metaphorically.
Metaphorically, you have to be.
Well, I'm not metaphorically running the console. I'm literally running the console.
No, I think metaphorically you're.
No, I am literally. I'm literally doing it.
You know what I hate is all the kids that are always saying literally to everything. There's a lot of kids saying that now. I don't know if you know that.
I mean, it's been a
Kids.
while.
It's really annoying.
They're
a lot
like
of
a lot of adults.
reporters
They're like-
that say that.
I literally told him that. You don't
Actually,
need the word literally there.
British people have been doing that for the longest time.
And that's why they lost the war. That's why they lost the Revolutionary War.
I don't think that's
Well,
the
the
reason why.
Revolutionary War, yeah.
Simple. And we had to go rescue their ass in 2 world wars.
Well, I mean,
We did.
they were doing
1
pretty
and
good,
2.
pretty good in World War II. If you do some research,
They were on the ropes, man. They were on the defense.
they were on the ropes. Okay.
We showed up, took care of business.
Uh,
Not sure exactly how that's exactly how it went, but
No, I don't think
Exactly
that's-
how it went.
okay.
they were.
Stuff did not get done until we showed up.
I think they would have been okay without our help.
Would have been nice if we could have just stayed home, but no, they needed us to come help.
We had to help France,
Oh, we definitely had to help France. Yeah.
but I mean, Great Britain.
They
No,
totally
they
needed
were-
our help.
Whoa.
Oh, they totally did.
I mean, if you do some research,
I'm well read in history, sir.
okay.
And the Brits needed our. They were not
well-read
going.
in
They are
history,
not. They were
sir.
not going to be able to finish that war without us. They just
Mm-hmm.
weren't. And by the way, before we step foot anywhere and pointed a gun at anybody, well, without us, they would have had nothing because we were shoveling goods and services in their direction
Well, that's
for
true.
quite
That's true.
some time.
Yeah, that's true.
So no, without the United States, they would be speaking German in London. In fact, they wouldn't even call it London anymore.
I don't know about that.
I mean, without them, there would be no colony for which there to be no United States.
Oh,
So,
we're not chicken and egg in this thing.
Like
I'm
the
saying
shoveling things in their general direction was
I'm
their
saying-
plan in the first place. That's what those
Yeah.
colonies were for.
but we took it away from them, and then we let them have some later. So no, don't even start.
Well, I mean, if you're looking at the alliance, it was America, Great Britain, and then Russia.
You know, the alliance was this. We showed up and said, "We got this." That's the alliance.
Okay.
Okay.
That is just not how that went at all.
All right.
Fish Tank says, "I bought 6 shares of the Atlanta Braves, so I can legitimately say I own the Braves." Will they be giving out dividends?
Why
Just
would
like
you do
people
that?
own the Packers. Nobody owns the Packers.
Well, but
you don't own the Braves.
You don't in terms of
Well-
having any power, but you do literally own a part.
Can I
Well,
just ask you,
it's a
Fish
very,
Tank,
very
if
tiny
your
part.
shares are worthless after you buy them, why would you buy 6? I mean, 1 would do. Just to say you're an owner. You know what I'm saying?
I will say this: I know a guy that has shares in the Green Bay Packers, and when they won their Super Bowl,
You send him a ring?
he got a ring.
Is that an actual ring or some pewter
Yeah.
job?
No.
that you-
No, it was the real McCoy.
So everybody who had shares in the Packers got a ring.
No, that's not what I said. What I said was this guy who owns shares, and I don't know how many, but and he's not a bazillionaire, but he got a ring because they sent him. a
I
ring.
mean, if there's a percentage that if it's big enough, you actually
and
count.
they offered the rest of the people to pay a price to get a ring. If you wanted a world championship ring, you could have got it.
Keon's lady says, "I'm loving this new war history radio show." Yeah. Yeah, I saw in Star Trek where Spock and Kirk were there, and they're like, "Hey, if this woman lives, then we won't. America doesn't enter the war, and then the Nazis will win, and then everybody's speaking German. So we got to kill Joan Collins." I mean, that was that episode.
Kill Joan Collins?
Well, they got to like not save her. So anyway,
No, so the man from High Castle just happens as a reality.
exactly.
Yeah. Mm.
Lost Toby says, "Keon just said it. His heart's not in it."
I don't even remember in what context those words came out of my mouth.
Baker's
Sorry.
Cocky Hen says, "What does it say that the Washington football team is worth since they just got sold for $6 billion?" Seems like that list is off. Well, I don't think they're going to devalue immediately. They're worth exactly what they were just sold at until further notice. Maybe next
I
year
would-
it'll be
I
different.
would like to know what the parameters are, how they value these teams.
You don't even have to estimate with Washington. They are literally, we know what the price is.
Mr. Wilbur says, Actually, I think he's talking about Dallas. He says their practice facility, which is probably worth about $2 billion itself. Yeah, the digs in Dallas, outside of the fact they're in Texas, are amazing.
Well, I've been by both the new stadium, the old stadium, and the practice facility, and I can tell you, my son lives near the practice facility, and I can tell you that is an amazing complex.
Yeah.
When they had the Hard Knocks there, they actually flew a drone through the whole thing, and that was the coolest moment of that entire Hard Knocks.
That was an amazing complex there.
Why doesn't Jerry Jones have the Hall of Fame game at his practice facility?
Because the Hall of Fame is in Canton, Ohio, and tradition.
Maybe they got to move that to Jerry's facility.
They could at least move it to the other two stadiums that are in Ohio. And if they haven't done that, they ain't moving it to Dallas.
Don't you know if Jerry could, he would move the damn Hall of Fame to Dallas? Don't you know he would?
Well, he should.
The Pro Football Hall of Fame does not listen to Jerry Jones.
No, Navy Brad. Just because you guessed how much the Cowboys were worth right, you don't get the first pick in Blender League 5. It's not how we do it. Random Texter says Bengals at the bottom of the list. That doesn't surprise me. After all, it's in Ohio. Oh, that's a good point. Yeah. Fish Tank says his shares of the Braves are legit. He says I bought them for $47 a share. They fluctuate just like anything in the market. They're open to the public. You can sell them anytime. Well, but can you get a dividend? Can you get a disbursement? Will this make you money outside of buy low and sell high? But at least yours seems to be worth a continuing amount of money. I don't think the Packers shares are. Like once you buy it, you're like, okay, now what? I don't think you can resell it or anything, can you?
I honestly don't know.
You can sell your shares of the Packers. Yeah. That's a publicly traded football team. Yeah.
But you get nothing for it. Nothing.
Whatever the going rate is.
Yeah, I still wouldn't. I would not buy into any of that for sure. I feel like that's not real. All right, we got to take a break. When we come back, we've got On This Date in Big Georgia sports history and more of the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Do you struggle with occasional nerve aches in your hands or feet? Try Nervive Nerve Relief from the world's #1 nerve care company. Nervive tablets contain alpha-lipoic acid to relieve nerve aches, weakness, and discomfort, plus B-complex vitamins to support healthy nerve function as you age. Live life with less nerve discomfort with Nervive Nerve Relief. Learn more at nervivehealth.com. And try Nervive Pain Relieving Cream to block nerve pain signals at the source. Use as directed.
You ready for a crazy time? Well, we're going back to Dave & Buster's at the Tempe Marketplace for our Daily Blender Fantasy Football Draft Party Friday, August 25th. We're going to broadcast the Daily Blender live from 3 to 6 p.m. And then at 7 p.m., all the Blender leagues are going to draft together. It's always nuts and a ton of fun. You don't even have to be in one of our leagues to come and hang out. Join the Daily Blender at Dave & Buster's at the Tempe Marketplace, 3 p.m. till we're done partying. Friday, August 25th, here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Hello, everyone. Desert Equity Lending is back again with a mortgage product that we have all been waiting for. We are excited to offer once again the no document loan that we all remember from years ago. That's right. It's a true no document loan. Remember when stated income loans were available? They were the most popular mortgages available for self-employed, as well as for those borrowers that couldn't quite show enough income to qualify using regular underwriting guidelines. This new no doc loan is changing the way people get approved for a mortgage. Listen to this. No income, no problem. No tax returns, no problem. It doesn't take perfect credit to qualify either. If you have a good down payment and decent credit, you need to call now. These mortgages are being approved for primary residence as well as a second home. We are doing it the old-fashioned way. We use common sense underwriting to approve what other banks walk away from. Call 602-509-3000 to talk with a real person that can get you answers in hours, not days. That's 602-509-3000. Make the call. You will be glad you did. Desert Equity Lending. Desert Equity Lending, MB 0906989, NMLS 1733369. Conditions and restrictions apply.
Greg Clark Automotive trains certified technicians located on the southwest corner of Bethany Home and 19th Avenue, servicing Valley automobiles 44 summers now, offering our summer cooling system inspection diagnosis on the belts, water pump, radiator, and hoses. Every air conditioning service includes a dye injection to find leaks. Contact us today at 602-246-2881. And online at gregclarkautomotive.com. Mention 1580 and get 10% off of labor.
So, what's your favorite thing about sports? The excitement, the action, or the 5-meat pizza and the 6-pack? Bingo. That's what we thought. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
It is the Wednesday edition of the Daily Blender here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, about 15 minutes away. We will call it a day and send you on your way in about 22 hours. We'll return.
Not like we're clock watching or anything.
So there's 14 minutes. I'm sorry, what was it? Women's soccer on the world stage, and no better place to get in on the action than FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Last hour, I was talking about maybe my bets. I'm giving you the current up-to-date betting odds right now. Spain is favored to beat Netherlands. Spain at -230. Japan is favored to beat Sweden, -178. France favored to beat Australia, -168. And England favored to beat Colombia, -500. So there you go. Maybe you're saying to yourself, what does that mean, Randy? Well, I mean, you could go put some dollars down on one of these favorites, or maybe you look at the Japan matchup with Sweden. You say, maybe Sweden, because they beat the U.S., they're on this emotional high. Maybe I want to throw a couple of dollars on Sweden. See what I mean? You just got to go to FanDuel.com/Randy1580. Sign up today, and you'll get your first bet covered. Your no risk first bet, no sweat first bet is what they call it, and up to $1,000 back in bonus bets. So if you put $10 down on Sweden and they happen to lose that game, you get the $10 back in bonus bets. Don't miss your chance to get a no sweat first bet up to $1,000 when you join FanDuel today. Just go to my special link, FanDuel.com/Randy1580, and sign up. Again, that's FanDuel.com/Randy1580, and make every moment more with FanDuel. Got to be 21 or older, present in Arizona. First online real money wager only. $10 deposit required. Refund issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire in 7 days. Restrictions apply. See full terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342. Jeffco.
All right. Thank you, Randy. Got some bad news for your Arizona Cardinals. I'm sure you've heard Marlon Mack is now out for the season with a torn Achilles. Days after he showed up to be a running back for your Arizona Cardinals, and now this. That's a bad piece of news right there. Yeah. Good news is Kareem Hunt's available, because thank God he left the Colts without a deal. I was not happy about the idea that they offered him more money than the Saints, but evidently not enough money for Kareem Hunt. Whew. Seriously.
Maybe he's just taking a cooling off time.
Does Kareem Hunt know what the running back market is right now? Because if they didn't pay Saquon, just throwing that out there, and they're not paying Jonathan Taylor, and Josh Jacobs is still trying to figure out how to navigate this whole situation. Kareem Hunt with
Josh Jacobs is gone.
Baggage and less production. He thought he was going to make how much money?
Well, I'm glad that he's screwed right now. I imagine at some point he'll relent and show up someplace, but he's running out of time. People are running out of time. And, I understand if somebody decides not to be the poster child for taking a stand and making the money and, trying to set the market right, but they're saying, maybe right now, since there's nothing we can do about it, maybe we just ball out, do our thing, make as much money as we can along the way, and then hopefully this gets settled somewhere else. But if they all pull back, it devalues the running back position more and makes it harder later for the NFLPA to be able to negotiate and try to figure some things out, So it's a damned if you do, damned if you don't kind of thing for sure. Melvin Gordon, he said it right. He says, running backs right now are just kind of screwed. He says, I feel like for the next couple of years, we're kind of screwed. So the only thing we can do is just kind of stack it and just ball out. And, he says, we're talking this and that. It's not going to get anything done. He says, we just have to shine in the brightest moments when we get to the playoffs. The backs that are on the team got to take initiative. And you know what? Like, I'm going to take over. I hope it makes a difference.
Yeah, it sucks that that's kind of what you have to resign yourself to if you want to play, because there's always the Randy option of just going, you know what? I have made enough money. It's not as much money as I hope to make. It's not as much money as I could make, but adios, amigos. You could do that, but if you still want to play, that's kind of what you got.
Miles Jack just got picked up by somebody. I forget who it was. He was cut, which, first of all, I can't see a team cutting Miles Jack. But he said he was going to go learn plumbing or electrical so he could be productive. And he's made $50 million. He didn't have to go do that. He wanted to do something productive. And then this other team came calling and they signed him. Dalvin Cook, by the way, was working out somewhere where there were palm trees. Very few places in the United States where there's palm trees, gentlemen. Marlon Mack is hurt. Dalvin Cook's working out somewhere where there's palm trees. If I put 2 and 2 together, I am going to put together the greatest running backfield in the history of the damn NFL.
So one of the
you know
issues,
where it's going to be. It's going to be on my Arizona Cardinal team.
So you're expecting a clever thing.
James Conner and Dalvin Cook.
The problem with trying to play a long game is you don't get one when you're a running back. You don't have a long game. The running back position expires a lot quicker than other positions. So you don't have the luxury.
I guess until they run into a draft where there's no running backs.
They're going to now.
I mean, yeah, it's because if I'm a parent, and you know how a lot of these helicopter parents are, you don't even have to be one of them. Just be like, the coach wants to play your kid at running back. The hell you will. My kid has any chance of making it to the league, any at all. Playing wide receiver, playing defensive back, playing linebacker, any other position than running back.
Some of these guys will be happy to make whatever the hell they'll give them because maybe they're not a freakish athlete. Maybe they're a pretty good athlete and they're there and they're like, all right, I'll be the running back. All right, I'll take that 10 million. All right, I'll do my part. Okay, you put me in committee. And, these are not the highest tier running backs. You're just pretty good running back, making pretty good money. Yeah, they'll be fine. But you're right. A lot of parents, a lot of kids are looking at this. They're watching this going, So if you're a freakish good athlete, maybe try something else.
If I'm a parent of a kid that's a Bijan Robinson type athlete, where you just you look at that kid play with other kids and you're like, okay, that's not fair, and that's going to probably continue to not be fair forever. That guy ain't playing running back. It's just not happening.
We did not get to talk enough football today. So I'm starting the show tomorrow at 3 p.m. with football.
All right.
Nothing but football. That's what's going to happen tomorrow.
Very good.
And I'm sorry for all the texts that are sitting there on the text line unread, but I got to do this real fast. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for On This Date in Big George's Sports History. Back in the year 1905, Ty Cobb received a telegram sent by his longtime hometown Royston friend Joe Cunningham informing him that his father, Professor W.H. Cobb, had been killed in a shooting accident the previous night. The incident would have a profound effect on the future Hall of Famer, then just 18 years old in the minor leagues. It was revealed his mother pulled the trigger, and it was no accident. It was murder. Yeah. I think now that helps you understand why maybe he was such a jerk. His mom killed his dad.
He was a mean SOB.
Yeah. I think that might have had something to do with making him a mean SOB, but it's an explanation. It's not an excuse. No excuse for some of his antics, that's for sure. All right, let me see how many texts I can get done here before the end of the show. Fish Tank says Braves stocks do not pay a dividend, but there's tons of stock that don't either. So, buy now, watch them win the World Series, and then maybe sell or not. Yeah. Well, that's cool, Fish Tank. That's pretty interesting. Baker's Cocky Hymn says Kareem Hunt should definitely come out and identify as a wide receiver. Navy Brad says, sorry, Randy, I see the Cardinals at 2-15 this season. Just saying.
Don't you mean 15-2? Thank you.
Rough Rob says, fake an injury for the next 2 years.
If you're a running back, why?
Who?
He says fake an injury for the next 2 years to get third. I think he might have gotten interrupted texting.
Mm-hmm.
Half You Lefty says, you think he'd go into the automotive industry with the name Miles Jack? Well, that's very good.
Good point. Good point.
And he says, what is the libation of choice on this Whiskey Wednesday, Randy? Is it a bourbon?
No, it's a Canadian whiskey.
Ooh, polite. Very nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Lost Toby says some team in the Hunt will overpay Hunt because they're desperate because their running backs got hurt. Yeah. Just, you know what makes me sad? Even though Kareem Hunt is not coming to the Colts, what makes me sad is we asked him to.
Yeah.
That leaves a bad taste in the mouth.
Washington signed Junior Gillette several years ago, the domestic abuser. And he
You had
immediately
Adrian Peterson. Shut up.
He immediately tore his Achilles. And
Oh.
that was a
There's
happy
karma.
ending.
There's karma. Had to be hard to see Adrian Peterson run around for you.
I was not thrilled about it. Thrilled about it. But then
Navy
Dan Snyder
Brad-
was the owner, so.
Navy Brad says, Bebo for president. Bebo just ate some pieces of paper off my table. Bebo for better be a better dog. That's what I'm saying. I'm not beat that dog. I'm kidding. I'm not beating the dog. I never hit a dog. Anyway, as far as you know. All right, guys. See you tomorrow at 3 p.m. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Where's that stick?
For the ones who work hard to ensure their crew can always